You're ready to go.
Winning.
I remember. Welcome everyone to the South Russell Village Council meeting. Today is Monday, June 15th, 2026. I'd like you all to please rise, put your hand over your heart, and join us on the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. We're starting tonight with the 2027 tax budget hearing. Then we'll have a regular council meeting. Fiscal officer, the floor is yours.
You want me, I could do the roll and then
Oh,
Councilman.
I'm sorry, yes.
Porter. Here. Renzel. Here. Bell.
Here.
Berger.
Here.
Canton is absent. Kavanaugh. Here. I believe Councilman Berger was going to.
Okay, so the proposed 2027 tax budget includes estimated revenues for the general fund of $1,670,799, with estimated expenses of $1,786,560. Safety fund revenues of $1,782,013, and expenses of $2,005,875. Operating fund revenues of $642,404, and expenses of $619,456. Road and bridge fund revenues of $247,197 and expenses of $4,500. Special revenue fund revenues of $3,566,645 and expenses of $3,753,350. Capital project fund revenues of $2,159,700 even, and expenses of $2,427,389.
That's it.
That's it. To let you know how we got here, we raised taxes in 2017. We have not raised taxes since. We have lowered taxes twice since 2017. So that's where we are. All right. Do we need to close out the tax budget hearing? Okay.
Motion to adopt or what?
No, just motion to close the public hearing.
Okay, what's that motion now, please?
To close the public hearing.
Motion to close, someone, please? Motion to close the public hearing?
So moved. I'll second it.
Okay, moved by Porter, seconded by Kavanaugh. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the motion passes. We've done the pledge of allegiance. Now we're on the roll call for today's meeting.
Porter.
Here.
Renzel. Here. Bell.
Here.
Berger.
Here.
Canton is absent. Kavanaugh. Here.
Okay, before we go into the minutes, in the minutes, you have in front of you hopefully an agenda. If you would like to speak, the information is on the back. Some of you are veterans, but basically we give you 5 minutes to speak. We ask for your name, address, ask you to stand. After 3 minutes, I'll raise 2 fingers to let you know your time is about up. This is not a discussion. It's not a debate. It's your chance to be heard and to address council. Okay. Next, we need somebody, any changes or corrections to the minutes of May the 18th?
One minor change towards the end, in the ordinance section, it said Councilman said I did the second reading for the levy. That was Councilman Berger.
Okay, thank you.
There's also a minor change on the bicycle incidents on Bell Road. It said they weren't on Bell Road, or bicycle incidents or something said it wasn't on Bell Road. One was on Bell Road in Snyder, and one was, she was just pony, and then 306 near Market Express. So it says under there like no
Well, that's
bicycle
what was
access
said in
on
the
Bell Road.
meeting. So what we'll do is, minutes are what was said in that meeting. So we'll put this comment in these minutes with a
Okay.
note.
Okay, motion to approve the minutes as changed.
I'll move.
Moved by Kavanaugh, seconded by
Second.
Renzel. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, minutes are approved. We're in our visitors section. First, we have Sarah Gabriel, Muffy Sherwin, and Ally Dean have asked to come tonight to speak about a bocce ball court. Muffy, are you doing the talking?
Yeah.
Okay, please stand, give us name and address again, and the floor is yours.
Hi, I'm Muffy Sherwin. I live at 138 Holly Lane in South Russell. And this is something that we've been working on with you guys as well for about a year now. We would really like to have a bocce court in the parks, in the South Russell Park. We have gotten permission from Western Reserve Land Conservancy because there's some guidelines as to how far we can extend activities out into the field, but they okayed it. We've worked on a couple of different placements. We've marked them out. We've watched them through all weather, including snow, melting snow, rains and floods, and we've picked out an area that is relatively dry at all times. Tim also saw it. We put the markers there. I think it's great. A lot of the other communities have a bocce court. I think it's a great way to bring neighbors together to do something on the spur of the moment. I know there also is a league in Chagrin. They go between Bentleyville and the Chagrin court. It doesn't mean that we have to be available to them. That can be a conversation later. But I think this would add something to our community as well as to our park. So we're asking for our tax dollars to pay for it. And I know, Tim, we had talked a little bit about having maybe the road crew kind of do some of the work to keep the costs down.
Okay. Anything else? Thank you. Ruth, does the property committee want to say anything at this time?
The
about
ladies
this
have
issue?
been patient and persistent, and I appreciate that. They're in finance, Mr. Berger's committee, they allotted $8,000 for that with the hope that in-house we can finish it. And during Parks meeting, we went and looked at it both ways. Do you want to stare into the sun at this time of day, or are you better with the north-south? And that's what we want, is the north-south. So I don't know that you'll see me out there doing bocce for the first time again in 50 years, but thank you, ladies. And is Ally here? I don't see.
She's sick,
Okay.
unfortunately.
All right, you've been very, very good. Tim, do you want to finish on any of that?
On the winter, I think it's a good idea, and I've had a lot of feedback from residents for it. So.
Did you want to make a motion?
We can make a motion. I haven't read ahead. So I move that we approve the building of a bocce ball court at South Russell Park, oriented from south to north, north to south, with an amount not to exceed $8,000. So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded, discussion.
Can I ask a question, please?
Excuse me.
Are you? I'm
Just
sorry, my name is Tom Radu, 17 Woodside Road.
hang on to that, Tom. We gotta handle our work first. I'll get to you in just in a second. Anything else work?
The Parks Committee, a lot of people spent time looking at it, and the Parks Committee is all for it. They just think this would be a wonderful addition, and I don't see any downside. I don't want to see any old ladies out there drinking beer late at night or anything. But it just looks like a lot of fun. Bocce's
Been
fun.
moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Tom, you'd ask us.
One question, is there any consideration as to lighting, so like after dawn or after dusk?
We had not looked at that, no.
I mean, if the park's closed, the park's closed.
Park's open dawn to dusk.
Dawn, dusk, okay.
So summertime.
Sarah,
9:30 at night, 10 o'clock at night.
anything else? Sarah, did you want to?
No, I just think it's a great way to keep the community together, and Chagrin's League has really grown. So it's becoming a popular thing to do in the summer. So if South Russell has their league, it would be great.
I would suggest, Ruth, that your committee get together, street commissioner, he's got a design already set for you. And start working on it, maybe set up some time. All right, next.
Thank you.
Suzanne Maloney, Emerald Lakes HOA President, vacant home issues.
Suzanne Maloney, 100 Waverly Lane. I have with me Jennifer Donnellan. She's at 110 Waverly Lane. We have been struggling for some time. When I say some time, I say 9 years, with a particular homeowner on Waverly at 111. These people took possession of the foreclosed home in June of 2017. There have been multiple letters sent by myself on behalf of our HOA, as well as the next door neighbor who lives in 113. We've spoken to the building department. Dave, who's become one of my, he knows me, let's just say that. He knows me, and as well as another gentleman. So to sum it up, there have been 7 notices, complaints, a visit by the police department with an incident report in 2021. That's just in 2021. That dealt with a boat, a 55-gallon drum, a 12-foot trampoline in the front yard, an unregistered vehicle in the driveway, violations of an in-ground pool in the backyard that was unsecured, a dead ash tree in the front yard, and an AC unit that was holding up a basketball hoop. That was all in one year. And 7 notices, complaints, letters that are in the folder right now at the building department. Throughout 2022, the residents stopped living there sometime in 2021. So they took possession June of 17, sometime in 2021. They moved out. Nobody saw them or heard from them again. 2022, 6 additional violations, notices, letters. They were cited for a dead tree, debris in the driveway. 2024, the neighbor Danielle was tired of cleaning up after storms, cleaning up the neighbor's yard. She had sent a letter, I believe, to South Russell Village. She had stated in that letter that the property had been abandoned for 3 years. She saw no one coming or going. She was citing safety concerns. She had a small child at the time, the pool, the drum, cleanup, all of it. I visited multiple times. I visited in 2024 3 times. In 2025, I talked to a worker named Jorge who was working on the in-ground pool in the backyard. There were still issues with the mail, the driveway, mailbox, the driveway, and the pool. The ash tree was now gone. They did that. We sent them a threatening letter. Actually, South Russell Village did, and that was gone. Okay, so let's move forward to 2025. Dave Hocevar paid them a visit last fall after a visit from me. He said he talked to a man who was not so nice, who happened to be visiting there, and said, I'm fixing it up, I'm putting it up for sale in the spring. Okay, well, if he's gonna do that, he's got 5 days. As of 1 hour ago, I visited the home. The pool is covered, however, the gates are insecure. There's a pile of trash about 10 by 20 feet in the backyard. There's miscellaneous debris up against the house. There's an unregistered trailer in the driveway now that appeared there. I'm not so sure. Maybe Jennifer knows. She lives closer to the home. There's a 55-gallon drum that suddenly has reappeared in the driveway now. And the microwave and AC is still holding up the basketball hoop in the driveway. In addition, there's a gas light at the end of the driveway that's now on a 20-degree slant. So just to wrap all this up, we are tired of a neighborhood of dealing with this since 2021, really. We've been dealing with this. We can't get anywhere with these people. And I would like to know, and my residents would like to know in Emerald Lake, is there an ordinance on the books in South Russell Village that deals with vacant properties? We know that these people do not live there. They have a landscaping company coming to cut the lawn. That's it. The house is in disrepair. So if there isn't a law on the books, I think we need to consider putting one on the books.
Thank you.
Suzanne, has it been rented to the best of your knowledge?
No, and I'll just add that they pay their taxes
Give your
and
name
then
and address, please.
Jennifer Donnellan, 110 Waverly. They pay their taxes and they mow their lawn, but that's about it.
I recall this being an issue 3 years ago when I was on the building. And Dave looked at it then and took care of whatever issue with that particular du jour, soup du jour.
Dave does say he is going to stop by tomorrow because I did visit him today. He says he's going to stop by and he will write a letter and cite them and threaten court action. He also said that last fall. I didn't see that letter in the file today, but maybe I missed it. So maybe this is the second time that he's been by to threaten. I don't know.
Solicitor, any suggestions? Anything else we need in our arsenal?
I don't know. I'm looking actually right now at our codified ordinances. We do have some ordinances regarding abandoned and damaged facilities, but I will have to take a little bit more of a look. I know that it's definitely a code enforcement issue. We can bring this in in the municipal court.
Okay. The next building committee meeting, we'll look at the situation and figure out what we're going to do and then let you know. We don't meet until, I think, July 13th, but we'll let you know before then what's going to happen. Yeah.
Great, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Mayor, just one question for the solicitor. Can we initiate condemnation proceedings against this house?
I do not know. I would have to look and see the actual history here and exactly what they've been cited for. I know you listed everything, thank you, but I need to get my hands around the file before we go down that road.
Is there any notion about the condition of the interior of the house?
It was a foreclosed home and at the time it was sold in 2017, it had a lot of water damage. I did not see the interior of the home at that time, perhaps Jennifer did. It wasn't touched by anyone. The people who bought it came in from, I'm not sure where. So it was not a local person who purchased it.
And they haven't been living there for 2-3 years?
At least since 2021.
Okay, so 5.
5.
Health violation.
Point is, if it's not habitable, that makes condemnation a bit easier, as I recall.
All right.
We'll find out.
Thank you.
Thank you, Suzanne.
Others in the audience, if you'd like to speak, please raise your hand at this point. All right, yes, name and address. You can stand right there if you can.
Hi, my name is Elsie Tarsi. I'm a resident at 1091 Sherbrick Drive in Chagrin Lakes. And I just want to address the proposal to have a walking path to the park. From what I've read, it will start at around 306 to Bell Road. And I have serious concerns about it. The first concern I have is that the first funds that I would believe were given were $800,000 in funds from NOACA. And I don't believe that NOACA should be funding walking paths. I think they should be funding roads and bridges. The second point I have is it does not serve most of South Russell. Anybody on the other side of 306 would have to drive somewhere to access it. As to the children in Gurney School being able to use it, I'm not sure that they would be using it that much. And whereas the rest of the village wouldn't be able to use it, and there are plenty of kids at Sand School from South Russell too, who would not use it. I also feel that it will take up parts of people's road property going down there, which I don't think is appropriate use of our funds. And I just don't see to put a levy on the ballot for this, even though it would be a nominal fee. I think we have plenty of property taxes between the schools and everything else. And you've all done a good job in trying to keep our taxes low. And I appreciate for South Russell not having a levy since 2017. That's wonderful. But who's going to maintain the path is another thing I worry about. So just my opinion, I don't know what other people think, but I would not be in favor of a path. And thank you for listening.
Thank you. Hang on. Anybody want to comment? Okay, move on. Sorry, you raised your hand. You're next. Name and address. I'm going to also ask you to come up and stand probably right. That's good enough.
Is this good? I don't want to be on TV.
You at the back of your head is, right?
First, thanks for your service as principal of Sugar Falls High School. My kids sure benefited. I know that's off topic, but I appreciate it.
Name and address.
My name is David Rust. I live at 24 Forest Drive in South Russell, just off of Daisy and Woodside. Anyhow, I just want to echo what Elsie said. I agree with it. And I appreciate you all keeping our taxes down and the spending down. Really, really appreciate it because the first piece of mail I ever received in Sugar Falls was a property levy increase. And I kind of made a big jump to get into the house. And I was like, oh my gosh, our property tax are way, way too low. They need to be increased massively. And of course, the levy passed. And I was like, thanks, this is great. And anyhow, so I really appreciate you keeping the expenses down. I think probably there will be minimal use. I do love what you did with the bike paths. I don't know when that was. It's beautiful. I don't know how this would impact this. So I just want to agree with Elsie. And thank you for your time. The shoulders. I'm sorry, the shoulders in 2010.
I'd like to have.
Sorry, yeah, but 2010 or whenever you did it.
And 2014. 2014, we added about 40 inches on both sides of the belt.
Thanks.
Anybody else comments for the next?
I have
All right,
questions.
Catherine, I saw your hand first.
Oh, I'm sorry.
If you could swing over a little bit, Catherine, to just where he was standing. Use name and address.
Catherine Longquist, 6 Louise Drive. I have to agree that I think this is a bit beyond what we need. We are in a rural area of South Russell. We do have an area where you can walk and bike on the sides of the road. I am a leader for the Cleveland Hiking Club. I lead along Bell Road, much less Washington Street. And yes, it could be a concern, but we just are very careful. We look for each other and something is going to happen no matter what. But what I'm saying is, this is a rural area. Why are we going for sidewalks that will take 10 feet beyond the road? And have any of you driven down Bell Road and looked at what 10 feet of destruction will do to the bushes, the trees, the fences, everything? And also, if you want to go beyond 306 East, you're going to hit gas lines, huge gas lines. So, I heard one comment saying, oh, we might want to extend this in the future all the way. You couldn't because you have major gas lines on the south side of Bell. So what I'm saying is, I think we need to consider where we are. If you want sidewalks, go to Chagrin, go to Cleveland, go to Shaker, go somewhere. I have walked those sides of the street. As long as you're careful, yes. And if you're concerned about children playing and walking along the road or riding their bikes, well, maybe they don't need to be here. I don't know what to say, but we are a rural area. I want to keep the fence lines. I want to keep the trees. I want to keep the bushes. I want to keep the gardens. I want to keep the sides of our yards. And I don't want 10 feet wiped out for a sidewalk. I'm just so sorry. And on a side note, because I have a little more time, because I lead for the Cleveland Hiking Club, and you also know I'm a big proponent for the South Russell Park. I have recently been there. We have tons of bobolinks. We also have about 12 other bird species I have identified in that area. Please, I know you guys keep thinking we're going to burn that area because that's what people say to do. And I suggest we wait till at least August if not later, because you are going to destroy a lot of wildlife. I remember 4 years ago, when you guys mowed a little too early, and the amount of turkey vultures that hit along Bell Road into South Russell Park because you mowed too early and killed a lot of bird and wildlife, the turkey vulture showed up. I'm just suggesting, please contact someone who knows what's going on before you hit South Russell Park, including the bocce ball code. Thank you.
Catherine,
I'm sorry.
I do have a connection with the Audubon Society.
Oh, good.
on
Thank
that.
you.
Yeah, we
Thank you.
connected as to what to do.
Thank you.
All right, next, somebody, yes, right behind you. Oh, okay. No, you got the floor. Go ahead, Nancy.
Okay, I know you mentioned budgets. 1 million was budgeted for this, 1 million for that, 2 million for that, 600 that, 1,000 for something else. Why don't you spend that million that you would waste on a pathway and apply it to one of the budgets? I'm sorry, this pathway is just unneeded. It's a waste of money. And I don't know why council is even thinking about putting it on the tax levy, on the ballot. It boggles my mind. What are your reasons for it? Are you guys going to walk it? Or are you gonna be the only people that are going to walk the path? It boggles me. And the other reason is that I know you mentioned this in the last meeting, was the concerns for safety. And as our police chief mentioned, there wasn't that much, accidents regarding, bikes, joggers, cars. And yet I haven't heard you say anything about that you've done a feasibility study. Nobody has yet sat on the side of the road with the clicker monitoring what the safety traffic is. That is my speech for tonight. I will be progressing onward with what my intentions are for battling this initiative.
Can I get you, what was your name?
Oh, I don't think I ever mentioned it. Ralph Silk, 21 Daisy.
Thank you.
Ms. Marilee, now you have the floor. Even
I stole your show.
No, you did that. Marilee Marshall, 1092 Bell, and I'm in the zone. And so I'm mostly have questions, and now I know that it's gonna be on my side of the street. And I wonder if I'm gonna lose the fence. I'm one of four properties with that split rail fence. So we are. Oh, okay. So I wonder if we're gonna lose the fence. And I would benefit from it. I could walk up to Town Hall to the farmer's market and down to the park, and that would be lovely. We walked up here, my neighbor and I walked up here tonight, and people drove over the center line to avoid us, so yeah, so that's all. I just questions. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, you're next.
Janice Hill, 33 East Bell Meadow. I moved back to South Russell 12 years ago from Denver. I grew up in South Russell. And when I was looking for a home, I wanted a home in South Russell because of the rural feeling. Chagrin's lovely, but it's fine. It's there. I agree so wholeheartedly with Catherine. Why urbanize such a beautiful setting? That's all I have.
Thank you. Who's Next. Yes, you're next. You should be good from right where you are. I think it sounded.
My name is Leah Johns. I live at 1100 Bell Road. I actually just moved to South Russell a year ago, so I'm brand new to the community. But my husband grew up in Chagrin Falls and knows it well. So it's a lovely place to live. I have 3 boys, and they often walk on Bell to get down to Chagrin Lakes, which is like the neighborhood their grandparents live in. And my neighbor, Mary Lee, just told me that it's potential that the sidewalk could be on our side of the road, the south side, which I honestly fully support. I think having a sidewalk on Bell would be amazing for safety and for ease to walk to the park. There's a lot of children in my area, and I know that would benefit them. My 2 questions were that how would this sidewalk impact the historical cemetery that sits on the south side of Bell? And also, this is kind of random, but there's a historic or a rare tamarack tree, a deciduous tree that sits on our side of the road on my property that is kind of rare in this area. And I was just wondering if it would impact that tree, because it is kind of close to the road. Those are my questions.
Questions, comments? Anyone?
I've got 2 questions about a fence line and now a tree. I imagine without seeing where they are in relation to the road, you can't answer that?
I cannot.
Okay.
But I'm gonna try it while we're
looking. Okay.
So, Leah, I'm very firm on nothing in that cemetery is getting touched. That
Sorry, what did you say?
cemetery is gonna stay as is.
Okay, so the sidewalk would be skinny enough that it wouldn't affect the cemetery?
It's not gonna go into it can't go into the cemetery. I'll lay down on the road before that happens.
Okay. Couldn't they take the stairs out?
Oh, no, I would.
Oh, but then those stairs go right to the road. How are you planning to do the sidewalk?
I'm not.
Okay. Just asking.
Yeah, and Marilee, your neighbor came before us at, it had to be the last property committee meeting, and she pled your cause and named you by name, that you had just put that fence in there. So this was Wendy. And that, yeah.
Any other visitors who would like to speak tonight?
Yes.
Yes, sir. You're gonna have to move up between the 2.
I got a big mouth.
Yeah, we gotta get you up here. Okay, you gotta come closer. Good enough. 2 more feet, please.
Next to me.
Thank you.
It's okay. My name is Tom Radu. I live at 17 Woodside Road in South Russell. 1946, my in-laws built on the eastern end of Bell Road, and it's a dirt road. My wife has lived in South Russell her entire life. We've lived on Woodside for 37 years now. And I've seen some changes here, some good and some not so happy about, but that's progress. I would like to speak against the idea of having a pathway for a number of reasons. The biggest reason, I think, is because of the shortness of the road. It impacts a lot of people that are in that area, but it doesn't impact the majority of people in South Russell. And I think if you're going to have an improvement, it should be an improvement for everybody, because everybody apparently is going to end up paying for it. The second thing is that I really appreciate the fact that the village has tried to maintain a fiscal responsibility, because realistically, my taxes today are more than my mortgage payment was. And I think that it's going to, as we age, and I'm not sure what the demographics are, but I think that we have an aging population in South Russell. And I think that the things that are going to impact the village by putting a bike pathway is not going to benefit the majority. Thank you.
Thank you.
Tom, I gotta ask what your in-law's last name was.
Zell, Joe and Agnes Zell. Everybody knew that.
In the old school.
From way old. Back in those days when they built their house, just as an idea, he had to bring cement blocks in his car because they wouldn't go very far out.
Catherine,
Just
hang
one
on.
quick-
Let's see. Anybody else want their first time? Sir, name and that, you should be good right there.
Anthony Gerbino, 1460 Bell Road. So I just moved up here from Florida. My wife grew up here. Been in Ohio now for about 3 years and I like it. And really surprisingly over Florida, it's got a really nice rural vibe. And I don't want to lose that in this community. I think that was very important. But when my wife brought up to me that you guys were planning on a pathway between 306 and the park, my first question was just like, why? Like, are there concerns around safety? Did somebody have an accident? Did a kid get hit? Like, what spurred this on? And then after that, it was just kind of more and more questions that just didn't seem to get answered. As such, I would go against it. Thanks.
Thank you. Comments?
What questions did you have about the path?
Just why? It was really why. What spurred this decision? Are we proactively trying to avoid something, or are we constructively creating something, or are we reactively avoiding something? I don't know. Why are we doing this? Why are we spending $800,000 to $1 million on a road to nowhere?
Well,
and if it's not a road to nowhere, I'm happy to learn more about it. It just doesn't sound like it's.
The Pedestrian and Bike Path Committee was formed to consider this question. I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years ago, Mayor, something like that. And put out a survey on the village website, as I recall, that invited residents to say whether or not they would support a pathway of some kind. And back then it was a bike path / pedestrian path, okay? And they got 360 odd responses, vast majority in favor. And that's probably what led to where we are now. There are residents who are in favor. We heard one earlier. And there's people who are not in favor. So the bike path part is no longer with us. It's not a sidewalk as Cleveland Heights and Shaker would define a site. It's not a concrete path. It is probably something along the lines of a dirt path. Something like that, asphalt maybe, that kind of thing, okay? From Spring Drive to 306 South Side. I think part of the stairs would have to come out at the cemetery, not all of them, but part of them, because the idea is to have a 5-foot path, not 10, but 5. And in my view, if you're gonna have a path for residential use, for anybody to use, I believe it should also be a bike path, but that means it has to be wider. And the current proposal was slimmed down from a bike path to what it is now. And $800,000 from NOACA, as Elsie pointed out, plus $1 million from the village is a $1.8 million path, okay? It's a lot of money.
A lot of money.
A lot of money, which is why council has been considering putting it on the ballot so that the residents can decide whether or not to do this.
I think that would be great to see.
I mean, people will raise their hand and say, sure, I support an idea, but when you ask them to pay for it, minds can change.
Great.
Some history behind it too. This is the third attempt, is my understanding, the pathway along there in the early 90s, 2012-ish. And then again now, I know in 2019, Mary Coons was elected, he put out his 2020 vision for 2030 and bicycle paths were part of that. So he's worked hard with residents to get their feedback and move forward with it. And that's how his special mayor's subcommittee, what was it called, task force last year that worked on it for about a year and a half. And then it came to where we are now.
Thank you. Appreciate the context.
Catherine, you had your hand up. This is round, hang on, Catherine, hang on. I'm gonna move you into the middle, just to make sure,
I'm sorry. Walk on up.
so we can hear from
You gotta be closer to the big microphone thing.
Whatever.
not that anyone's ever said that
I do not have a booming voice.
you have the
Thank
library
you.
of voice, yes.
But Mr. Porter was correct. This is not a bike path. I keep hearing people saying they want a bike path. It's not a bike path. It's going to be a walking path. And I don't believe it was envisioned being a dirt path. I believe you guys envisioned a cement path. I just want to point out that on the back page of your revised tax thing, whatever, it says how many different increases in budgets for general fund, street maintenance, safety fund, park fund, Bell Road East fund. I mean, all these are kind of increases. And you want to go to the people to ask for a huge tax increase for a walking path that many of us do not need or want. I'm just saying, but it is not, for all of you here, it is not a bike path. It is a walking path. So every time someone says something to me about they're so afraid of their children walking and biking on Bell, I say it's only for walking, not biking. Just saying.
Just a correction on that. Just a correction on
Yes.
that. The Ohio Revised Code, it depends on the population. So it can be a shared use path depending on our
I
population.
believe it's supposed to be 10 feet if it's a bike path.
Our
10
solicitor
feet
did,
wide.
our solicitor.
Because
did.
they have to go each other.
Depends on the community, the size of the community.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, so it can have bikes on it, depending on the size of the community. It can be a shared use path, so that would be walkers and bikers in certain sized communities.
And
So-
would our community fit that? I mean, who are we talking to? I'm not sure who we're
We'll
talking
be
to.
talking to our solicitor, who has looked into
Oh,
this,
I'm
and
sorry.
maybe is ready to answer, or maybe needs more time to look into it.
All I have heard is that because of a bike and a person coming together, it has to be 10 feet. Otherwise, someone has to push off the path. Am I wrong?
Yes, yeah, and I mean.
I am wrong?
Yes.
Okay, great. I would like to see the facts put in writing, please, because at this time, none of us have heard that. Thank you.
Hi, Elsie Tarsi. I just want to ask that survey that went out, and you said you got 360 responses. How many people live in South Russell? I mean, is that really a good sample of?
About 4,000 people live in South
So
Russell. There's
that's-
about 1,400 households.
So 1,400 households, and that's only 360 of the 1,400. Okay, I just wondered. Thank you. Also, the other thing I wanted to say is I have tried to get emails from South Russell, and I can't. So maybe I could talk to somebody. Let me know who I should. Okay, I'll talk to you about getting Daniel about getting my emails, because every time I try to sign up for it, it doesn't work. Okay, thank you. That would be helpful too.
Are you on the text?
Text
No,
my,
I can't get texts, I can't get emails, I don't get anything.
Chief does the text. So if you want the notifications to come out.
Yeah, I don't get any notifications. Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Okay, I've got a couple of comments. I'm Chris Berger. I'm the chair of the Finance Committee for the council, okay? And I can put you to sleep faster than anybody else if I start talking numbers, okay? And I don't want to do that, but I want to clarify a couple of maybe misunderstandings. When you think about your household budget, you think about one checkbook and you write all of the bills out of that checkbook, okay? From a government accounting standpoint, we can't do that. We actually take the money and we divide it into a multitude of what we call funds, and it's in excess of 20, okay? And so we allocate money to each of these funds, and then there are expenses that go against those funds. And that's how we track how we spend our money in South Russell, okay? So when you see that we're increasing a fund here, or we're decreasing a fund, or we're moving money around, it's because we have expenses that either were more or less than we anticipated, And so we're moving money in correspondence to those expenses. Okay? So it's not that there's a bunch of money just laying out there that we don't have a use for. We have an obligation that the tax money that we collect, we spend. If we don't need it, we shouldn't collect it. And in fact, the last couple of years, we've deferred collection of part of a levy because we didn't think we needed the money to spend. So we are obligated to have as close to a balanced budget as we can possibly have, okay? So you see on the piece of paper that it says a decrease of $1 million for the Bell Road East project. That's not because all of a sudden we got $1 million that's free. It's because that project was scheduled to be done in 2026. It's now going to be completed in 2027. So we have to decrease our budget there, but the money is allocated for 2027 so that when we do the paving on Bell Road East, we have the money to pay for it. Okay, so I want you to be assured that it's not that we've got a big pocket of money here and we want more. Okay, number one, that's not the way we operate. Number two, we have a responsibility to go to the county and to tell them what our budget is. And they ask those questions. And if you have too much money, they get concerned, as concerned as if you don't have enough money. So, because it's simply because we should collect what we need to operate the village.
Okay.
And not have an excess.
We shouldn't have to spend recklessly in order to not have that excess, right?
Okay, but
I'm not saying that's what you're saying, sorry.
No, but absolutely right. So we look at both sides of the equation. Have enough money to cover our expenses, but be judicious in the expenses that we have and do the right thing for the residents.
And I'm sorry to interrupt, but Anthony, so for the fiscal officer, if what we asked for and what we have doesn't match, she gets yelled at for not doing her job, and we get yelled at as a group. It has to match. It's Ohio Revised Code.
Okay, so I just want you to be assured, okay? It's not like this is a way to find more money from our residents. That's not the way we operate. We live here. We don't want our taxes going up. Okay, but we see what the expenses are and we know what we need to spend. And so we allocate appropriately for that. We do not have the extra $1 million for the path. Okay, whether you like it, you hate it, whatever it is, the issue is simply this. It's a $1.8 million project as of today. That could go up tomorrow. We don't know what the actual expenses will be. There's an $800,000 grant from NOACA. That means that there's $1 million that's got to come from somewhere else. It's either private donations, other grant funds, or it's got to come from the residents in the form of tax dollars. The only way to get that is to put a levy on the ballot and ask you to tax yourselves so that we can collect $1 million over 5 years in the process of building this path, if that's the way the residents want to go. Have I put you to sleep yet? Okay, okay. Try to keep it straight. I realize it's complicated, but I hope that helps.
All right, I'd like to wrap this up in the next 2 minutes. Anybody else has something they want to say? Marilee, you're up again.
I have another question. When Bell Street was repaved, the idea was to stripe according to the center. And then when it needed restriping, the striping would be toward one side, leaving more room on the other side for walking and biking. Is that still an idea?
We're still considering restriping but widening both sides. The struggle we're having is
narrowing the lanes.
Sorry, narrowing the
so that
lanes,
the shoulders
widening the
appear
shoulder
wider.
lanes. Because that way no one's walking with their back to traffic. If we have one side, we have to do that, but we're still waiting on a quote, so.
Waiting on what?
A quote.
A quote.
How much it would cost for the restriping.
Yeah.
We had done this a few years back, last time we did Bell Road East, we narrowed the driving lanes to increase the shoulder size on both sides. And I run up and down Bell and in the park periodically, not as much as I should, but it's safer now than it was 15 years ago. Maybe the dieting is the right approach. I don't know yet. Well, I'd like to see that quote. If you move it a foot either way closer in, that might be a reasonable solution that people can live with. And that would not cost $1 million.
All right, sir, you're gonna get the last word. It's up.
Since you talked about that, this is mainly for a police officer. I sometimes see, when you talk about narrowing the lane, I sometimes see bicyclists who drive inside of the lane and not come in that lane. Is there any way to ticket those bicyclists?
No, they have the right to be there.
So on
the road, that's where they're supposed to be.
Well, so then why do we have this bike lane?
It's not a bike lane.
But then why do we have the shoulder thing?
It's simply a shoulder, it's simply a wide shoulder.
So then why do we want to narrow it?
I'm sorry?
Why do we want to narrow the driving lane? And
It gives
minimize?
cyclists the option to be off the road,
But
but
I mean,
by
if they
law,
aren't-
cyclist is a vehicle.
But I'm saying if they aren't, they're not taking that shoulder, then you're making it even more dangerous for the cars.
Walkers and people that get a flat tire. Take walkers and make like a flat
Oh,
tire and have to.
Sir, he's got the floor.
I appreciate it. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I guess, so you can never ticket cyclists.
No, I'm sorry, that's just the law. It's certain bicycles are supposed to drive in the.
Can they drive in the center of that lane?
Sure. This is right in the center. It's like, but common sense would dictate, using more of the right side of the roadway.
That's unfortunate.
I encourage you all to continue this discussion tomorrow at 5:30. We have pizza at the Pavilion. President George Washington, Chagrin Falls Fife and Drum Band will be there, and we will be there, so come and talk to us. Thank you all for coming. That doesn't mean you have to leave, but the visitor section is now over, and we're moving on. All right, thank you if you want to leave.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it.
All right, the mayor's report.
Then why is it labeled bike? When you see it, it's bike.
So I already have
Right, I'm kind of aware of what they are, and I think they're very cool.
No,
Not a bike.
But it's so hard for me to like,
It's something one of them.
okay. It looks like it's right on the right of way, but I'm blind.
I did
Just a
too.
little bit on either
It's like laying down like
We're doing our two.
But now that you've shown me like where approximately it is, I know.
He's building, he's for.
Thank
So it's like in my
Yes,
area.
that's
All you
right.
gotta do is make a motion.
Hang on, you're both going to join me.
If this moves forward, that would be.
They are being- All right, you're good. All right. We're at the mayor's report. First thing I like to the building committee, building chair, to provide a motion. I recommend that they support the appointment of James Hodge as an alternate to the Architecture Review Board. James came to us, to the village about 5 or 6 years ago, contacted us and said, hey, I'd like to help out. I'm an architect. We had him come to a couple of meetings to meet the Architecture Review Board team and to see how we operated. He was a good fit. He felt he fit well, and the ARB felt he fit well. So at this time, Ruth, I'd like to have a motion to appoint James Haas as an alternate to the Architecture Review Board.
I move that we appoint James Haas as an alternate to the Architectural Review Board. So moved.
Second.
Second, discussion. All those in favor say
I have a
aye.
question.
Oh,
I didn't know that we had alternates on the Architectural Review Board.
We have one now.
We do? Okay, because I only see that we have 3 members. I don't see alternates, but,
I thought we made the provision for alternates, Planning Commission, ARB, and BZA.
definitely ARB, or excuse me, definitely Planning Commission and BZA, but I do not see it in the Architectural Board of Review. We have 3 members, and I believe that's it, but if you know something different,
No, I don't. I know we have one and we've used him, but maybe incorrectly. All right.
yeah, I'm sorry.
Do you need an ordinance?
I'm
Do you
sorry?
need to amend the ordinance?
You would have to amend the ordinance.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor with one, it's been motioned, it hasn't been seconded, and please don't anybody second it. We'll just let the motion die.
Mark seconded.
Oh, you did second it, all right.
We can withdraw the motion, I think,
Or you could table
All
it.
right,
and then take care of the ordinance problem.
that's the best way, solicitor?
I think so, yes.
I
Okay.
withdraw my motion.
So now we can do an ordinance, solicitor?
So a motion's been withdrawn, or you want to, we can wait and do this a little later, give you some time.
Of the meeting, I mean, I think we would need to kind of, this is something that, again, all that we have is there's hereby established an ABR, which shall consist of 3 members appointed by the mayor and confirmed by council. That is it. There's nothing like in planning commission or BZA where there's alternate members.
Okay.
It'd be a great idea to have an alternate for ARB. And if so, maybe we should give the solicitor some time to figure out if we did that or not. And if we did not, then we can make an ordinance to change that by emergency
For the July
if we
meeting?
want to, or we can wait till the July meeting.
And let building committee work with the solicitor to get that
This gives you plenty.
sorted out.
Plenty of time to work
But
on
we give
this.
the solicitor time to sort it out.
Okay,
Yeah, all we have is the alternates in planning and BZA.
And if there is not solicitor, then perhaps we could have a draft ordinance for the July meeting for that purpose, Mayor. Do you want 1 or 2?
Be nice to have 1. 2 would be better, but I mean, we seldom would use.
So creating an opening for 2.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is with ARB, architects have to be part of that, as I recall.
Just 2 have to be architects.
Yes, but finding architects can be a time-consuming process because they're not serving for a lot of money, like hardly worth their time. They do it out of a sense of community service. But architects can be hard to find. So a 2-person alternate may be a better solution because then we presumably have a bench that can move up.
All right, good catch, solicitor. So that one's done. Second, I'd like to have a motion to approve the appointment of Tanner Payne as an alternate to the planning commission. Tanner has been attending the planning commission meetings. In fact, he was very helpful at the meeting last Thursday. He's been on getting all the emails, so he's ready to go. So Ruth, Tanner Payne, alternate planning commission.
Tanner has made himself known to us. He applied for the open seat for council and said that if he was not appointed, he would like to serve in some capacity, and he has been coming to planning commission meetings ever since. So I move that we appoint Tanner Payne as an alternate for planning commission. So moved.
Second.
So it moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Tanner's on. Okay, that's it for the mayor's report. Fiscal officer, the floor is yours.
Just wanting you to know that the new building department admin started on June 1st and she's doing very well. I've heard nothing but positive feedback. She's picking up very well on the tasks and has a good vision for the future. So things are going well there. I worked on the tax budget and that finance committee will handle to be approved tonight so we can put it, get it filed by the July deadline. And that's, there's a lot going on. But so mostly the tax budget is a priority tonight.
Questions of the fiscal officer? Hearing none. Finance committee.
Yes, Finance Committee met on June 11th. Draft minutes were in your packet. We will next meet, I'm proposing July 23rd, which is a Thursday at 9 a.m. So several things to think about. I passed out to you a motion to change the description of one of the budget line items from the mayor's discretionary fund to the village emergency line item. I believe that is in keeping with what that account was intended for and what it was created for under a previous administration. So we've talked about this at finance. I would like to make a motion that council approve the change in the line item description. So moved.
Second.
It's been moved to discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you. Just a comment on the levies. We talked about the PAP levy tonight. I'm sure there'll be lots more discussion there. At the Finance Committee, we did have a brief discussion looking forward at the increase in costs for fire, EMS, and Chagrin Valley Dispatch. That increase is expected to be from 2025 to 2028. It's an increase of about $500,000 per year. And in looking at our finances, we questioned whether the village has the financial capability and the resources to handle that increase. So while no decisions have been made, it was discussed putting a levy on the ballot in May of 2027 to address at least the increase in the costs of those services. So that would, if that went forward in May of 2027, we would go to the residents and ask for a levy to raise $500,000 per year, which is the additional costs. It is doubling the costs of our fire and EMS services. That's the contract that we signed last October. So, and I know that was a contentious situation. We did that knowing that as the increases came over the next 3 years, that they would be dramatic. And that's where we're at. So we're trying to anticipate that. So I'm making sure everyone's aware of that. Subject to questions or comments of council, that concludes the report of finance.
Did you want to move to approve the 2027?
My apologies. It's on my list here and I let that slide.
Chris, question. Do you have an estimate or how did you forecast the Chagrin Valley Dispatch portion of its growth and costs?
I simply put an 8% annual increase, not knowing what it was going to be.
Okay.
And we won't know those numbers probably until late August or early September for 2027.
Okay.
But, so I just put a placeholder in there to make sure we were covered.
Thank you.
So at this time, I'd make a motion to approve the 2027 tax budget as previously read in the tax budget hearing.
Second. Moved and seconded, discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes. Anything else for the Finance Committee? Solicitor, the floor is yours.
I have nothing to report.
Okay, questions of our solicitor? Hearing none. Engineer, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mayor. An update on our bidding process for the 2026 road program. We had initially expected a bid opening to take place last Friday, but due to a question, but we have 5 plan holders, by the way, which is fantastic. We've been getting, we got several questions about the drive apron restoration details, specifically along Bell Road East for the culvert replacements. And once I had kind of heard through the questions or asked for clarification or concerns from some of the newer plan holders that don't typically work here in South Russell, I kind of saw it from their viewpoint, and we issued a clarification, and as so extended the bid opening by a week. So the new bid opening is Monday, June 22nd at noon. And I will be here and look forward to seeing where we're at financially.
What seemed to be the glitch there?
In the past, when residents have replaced driveway culverts in their drive aprons on a street that we were paving, we use the village policy of you buy the pipe, the village puts in the pipe, and if we're paving your road that year, we'll also do the asphalt repair over the culvert, just as an offering to encourage more people to replace their drive culverts. When we decided that since Bell Road East is being paved next year, we should offer that same convenience, that same benefit to residents on Bell Road East. However, we can't include it with the project because it's an ODOT project. We're getting NOACA money. ODOT will not go beyond the edge of pavement. So we included extra repair quantity for drive apron repairs in with this year's road program budget. The detail showed that, okay, if you're paving the road and you're gonna put the asphalt surface course on the road and we're just gonna widen that out and, pave over the apron and the repair, that's not necessarily happening on Bell Road East because we're doing the drive apron repairs and culvert repairs first this year in anticipation for paving next year. So I had to get the detail redrawn. And the aprons on Bell Road, the repair areas for the aprons on Bell Road are quite a bit bigger actually, or will be quite a bit bigger than they typically are because the ditches on Bell Road in most cases are farther back from the edge of pavement. So the culvert is farther back from the edge of pavement and the repair surface area will be bigger to cover that area. So that was the nature of the question. And I thought they had a good point. So we issued a clarification with an addendum and a new detail, and we pushed it back a week to give them time to adjust.
Great.
Questions of our engineer?
I have a few. Can you talk about the salt barn?
Perhaps. What specifically?
Anchor bolts come to mind.
Okay. The Verdantis put together what's called a design brief for the salt storage building, basically saying, here's the type of structure we want. It's gonna sit about here and it's gonna be about this big. Then we went out for quotes from design bid companies to flesh that out and give us a price to build the building that they quoted. It was brought to my attention by our building department, Dave Hosevar, and Tim actually, had some concerns about, hey, what the contractor actually constructed at the top of the poured wall section looks different than what is drawn on the plan. And that the discrepancy was how the wood framed roof structure and trusses are attached to the concrete wall section. CMG, the contractor, said, yeah, we didn't leave the anchor bolts sticking up out of the concrete like we should have. We're gonna go in and drill mechanical anchors in and fasten the top plate that way. And Tim said, and Dave Hosevar said, that might be okay, but is that structurally gonna be all right? And they've had, 3 meetings out on site to date to kind of hash through that. And the last one was with the structural engineer and their design team. And I think they've reached the consensus, that the anchor bolts, we're still waiting for a full report from the structure guys, the structural engineers. But it was the consensus as of now, pending that report, that the anchor bolts do in fact resist the wind upload force and it's sufficient to tie the trusses and the roof down to the concrete wall. So that's where we're at right now.
We're still waiting on that report from Lewin and Associates, Danielle?
We got Lewin, I'm sorry.
I don't have
Got Lewin, I think it was, this is Monday, it had to be Friday. And we got the Bill Gallagher report this afternoon at about 3:00. And they both concurred and feel that everything will be okay. Mayor, do you want to go into anything? Because I was not able to get to when they did the walkthrough with Bill Gallagher last Tuesday.
Yeah, basically, they did some things a little differently. We've had our structural engineer, our building inspector, the street commissioner, Eric and Danielle too, watching this situation, not paying them until everything was A-okay. I got that this afternoon. I have it on my phone if you want to hear Dave. We're happy with what they're doing. It's going to cost the contractor about $500 more. One of the other things they've been asked to do, these are little plates. You have that little piece of wood, that our guys made up. They need some more of these and some other little minor things. But it was very concerning at first, and then things just eased down, that there is an issue now with what was done. We have it in writing. We got a couple inches of paperwork from everything from SRM Concrete to the new car, the mill certification. We got everything in writing from them that it's okay. Bill Gallagher said he will also send an okay that everything is fine.
So these just came late today.
So the follow-up is this something our engineer should look over?
I wouldn't venture a contradictory opinion to the structural engineers or our architectural consultants. Like it's the structural strength of an anchor bolt into concrete to resist wind upload is a little beyond my personal area of expertise.
When I say engineer, I mean Verdantis.
Oh, Verdantis? I could, but if we've already had, a structural evaluation by Lewin and an architectural evaluation by Gallagher and Associates, and just the decades of experience that Dave Hocevar brings, I don't know. I feel pretty comfortable that they've reached a decision that's fair and correct. But if you want another look, I'd be happy to put that on my docket.
I did call this afternoon and say that him and Bill Gallagher, they talked about it. They agreed that this payment was okay to pay, and we are holding contingency funds.
Understood, and I don't mean to delay the salt barn, but I would feel much better if Verdantis would double check this, seeing as how the contractor left out the anchor bolts to begin with. And I don't know about the rest of council, but that would make me feel a lot better if Verdantis.
Verdantis is probably higher, Bill Gallagher.
No, Bill Gallagher was formerly of CT Consultants, which became Verdantis. No, I would take this directly to the structural guys in my office and say, hey, can you double check this and make sure it's good?
Mayor, I'd suggest we do that just to make sure, because we don't want in a heavy wind situation that roof departing the salt barn and landing, well, I don't know, on Councilman Bell's house.
Well, I guess I'm going with Bill Gallagher, who's been with us for 40 years, and Dave Hocevar has been with us since 1992. They say it's okay. I would go with it.
I trust their opinion, but I'm with Councilman Porter. I think just another opinion, just like you go to the second cardiologist, right?
Yes, exactly, because.
So you don't want to make it
30 years.
You
I
don't
want to find out the hard way
payment.
it doesn't.
Okay, you don't want to make the payment, or you do with contingency?
I'm fine with making the payment. I just want another opinion from an unaffiliated source.
So, okay, we'll get somebody.
Can someone forward, because I don't have the Lewin report, and I don't have the Gallagher report. Can someone forward those to me so I can shop them around with my structural engineers?
Did we get this by email?
Get your paper, me.
Do we have this electronically, or is it just paper?
I got the Lewin one by email, and I believe the Gallagher by email. That was late today.
Okay, yeah, if you could just forward those,
send it
that would
to
be
me?
fantastic. I don't need any of the shop drawings or any other things.
And then you'll go out and find a third opinion.
Yeah, I have two guys that work in my office.
Okay.
I can just walk down the hall and say, can you look at this and give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
Can you let us know before the July council meeting?
Certainly.
So let's jump down to the properties committee.
I have one other, Mayor. Can you tell us about the Sugar Bush dredging?
Sugar Bush, by August 1st, once it is dry and as hard as possible. Yeah, I know Kyle knows, or Cantor knows.
Okay.
All right, Ruth, let's go down to the properties committee, CMG payment approval. Let's do a motion to do that.
So I need to make sure I word it correctly, that it has the word contingency in there?
No.
No?
No.
I move that we pay CMG is this correct, fourth payment?
This is the next payment, just say the next payment.
I move that we pay CMG the next payment, so moved.
All right, need a second?
Second.
Discussion?
Yeah, so just so we're clear, there is a retention against the contract. Now, it's a total of $28,000 on a $700,000 plus project. So $28,000 is not a huge number from a retention standpoint.
But there are other incomplete items, like pouring the floor and the pads, that we can hold.
Right.
We can hold that money as well.
Going forward, but I'm just saying, so we do have a retention. We have a legal obligation to pay them.
We do.
Under the terms of the contract, if they have completed satisfactorily to this point. So we're saying that's what we're gonna do, and that we're gonna release that check as we're legally obligated to do it. I just wanna make sure everybody's on board.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Okay, 5-1.
4 to 1.
4 to 1.
Jerry's absent.
It's not here. 4-1. Motion passes. All right, anything else on, we're gonna keep jumping, Ruth, so just hang on. We'll go back to Eric now. Eric, anything else?
No, sir.
Questions of our engineer? Street Commissioner, floor is yours.
So I submitted my May report, May report. Yeah, we've been busy doing a lot of ditch work and making sure the drainage is flowing correct on Maple Hill. You guys been really busy with that. And then the restoration work as they're moving along. So it's been going well. The standard mow maintenance of the village park and grounds as well. We've been continuing on doing that. Trash day was something that we did in May that went off well. It went off very well. We had, I think the way we laid it out, we didn't have any pedestrian or, movement where the large equipment was running. So that was always a good thing. There was less chance of somebody getting hurt. We had no near misses or issues at all. So that to me is a huge success.
Okay.
And that.
Questions of the Street Commissioner?
Tim, can you comment on Burke Cemetery fence and cleanup?
So the fence and the cleanup is on the schedule to do. I approached the resident at 103 and she had the waiver signed, but then she decided she did not want to give it to us because she is worried that with us coming in there, if they bump her car, her well, her driveway, any kind of damages, it kind of says it's on her, not us at all for anything. So she did say she supports the project fully. She just has those reservations and she's like, I would like to kind of have that changed a bit where we can, if you bump into something or you tear something up during this project, you fix it. There's lots of piping and things, which I think is a valid concern. She also brought up the fact that she did not want anything to be done until the end of, she has a graduation party end of June, beginning of July, that she doesn't want her yard and back section of her yard all tore up. So fence quotes are coming in. I'm waiting for, I'm gonna get one last fence quote to get, so we have 3 quotes for the fence. around. And it'll be replacing the existing fence. So right where the existing fence is, a new fence. Because the fence is there is rotted and broken and missing pieces and parts and things, so.
My recollection is council approved 5,000 for the project.
So-
How it's looking so far.
So right now, we're ranging between $5,000 and about $6,300, so.
Okay.
We're kind of in that ballpark, little on the,
To be in a position by the July council meeting to move forward with,
the access through 103 is kind of the holdup, so.
so sir, can we modify that permission slip as it were?
Have they signed it already?
She signed it, but she didn't give it to us.
Okay.
She was all set to, and then it kind of was a aha moment for her.
Okay.
So if the village is negligent in damaging her well, her car, the rental house, that the village will fix it. Seems to be what we're looking for.
So I'm confused. I need a little clarification. So Mary went to the neighbors at 103 and they gave verbal permission.
Mhm.
That was about 3 weeks ago.
Correct.
Do we have a signed,
So,
wait a minute, do we have a signed waiver from, I don't know if it's 100, 101, Brochus?
not from Brochus, because we weren't going to go on his property because it doesn't give us access to the back side of.
So the next house over.
103 gives us the access to the back of the cemetery area.
So the same family that said verbally okay, but then they learned about the waiver and read the waiver and now there has to turn that in, yeah.
Do we have a waiver from Coatsworth on back?
I do not.
I don't know that you can get at everything from Coatsworth.
Okay.
I'm happy to review and propose another waiver, but I think I need to know exactly which properties were
Well, it's 103
only.
only.
Okay.
And that gives full access to everything you need. So 103, they actually own the property, don't they?
They, directly behind the cemetery, Ruth has laid out, and she had brought to my attention, there is a section that we own behind the fence line. That is ours as well.
Get to it.
But we don't have any access to it.
And so you could get access from Coatsworth. But I'm still kind of flummoxed because unless water flows uphill, everything's uphill from that house. You're not gonna damage, is the
From everything.
well uphill?
It's all downhill to 103.
Meaning the well is way back there by the cemetery?
No, all the work we do is gonna come down the hill towards their house, but when we come down the hill, their well is there, their basketball, their downspout lines, that's the stuff that she's concerned with is, if you tear up my lawn, are you guys gonna fix it? Because if I sign this waiver, it says you won't, or don't have to.
Does this jive with what you know, Mary?
Yeah, I mean, when I spoke with her, it was before she saw the waiver. So, I mean, she was willing to, to have access,
She
but I
did
think-
receive your email of the waiver, and she did sign it, but then as she talked with her husband and they read it a little finer, she said she supports this 100% and she thinks it's a fantastic idea, and she's still behind this, absolutely. She said, I just want I want a little rework to damages if you do damage to my yard, piping, driveway, anything like that, because the current waiver says we're not responsible for anything.
If council is in accord, could the solicitor draft some appropriate language to protect the homeowner?
Sure, or the homeowner can provide something and we can then add it in and come back to council, so whichever you would like to do, it's fine.
I'd rather have you do it, Brian.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't dream of doing fencing until all that cleanup's done.
Correct.
So you need access before you can do the cleanup and everything
I
else.
don't wanna have a new fence up.
You couldn't put it.
And then, one, yes, and two, I don't wanna have a new fence up and then we're moving stuff and something happened to the new fence.
Okay.
What are the property stakes? Can you find them? Because we have people on all sides of this.
So
have everything laid out, what's our property?
Ruth has gone up and she marked out the corners to the additional section. And then the fence lines, we were just going to work within the fence lines. 103 asked, there was some square style stones kind of back off the fence going south. And she asked, are those headstones? And I don't have that answer. The map that's at Rarick is presumed accurate. I don't know. I suggested maybe.
How much to have a surveyor come in and survey that cemetery? So that we know.
Here's a question, and the chief is probably gonna sling some arrows at me. Do you have the capability to go back there and do GIS and drop a pin?
I don't know.
Okay,
I would have to contact the county and have the professionals.
yeah, might as well
Get
just
into
get
it.
the surveyor to do it.
I'm
It's
guessing.
really not your job,
Well,
it's just.
I mean, I'm guessing it could be in the area of 1,000 to 1,500 as a guess.
Let's get that properly surveyed.
Let's wait on the survey. Let's get the 103 permission slip done and take care of the cleanup and put the fence in, and then you can survey it and mark the boundary. We know where the fence is, we know where 103 is, so do we need a survey to tell us where to go to do the cleanup and put the fence in? I'm thinking no, if we put it in where the current one is.
Is the idea of the survey to avoid this potential,
Yeah.
might be a headstone?
Well, a survey will tell you where the boundaries of the cemetery is. That doesn't necessarily tell you if there's a grave under that rock we're talking about. It reduces the possibility, but it doesn't answer the question. I guess the real question is there any writing on these stones?
There's many broken.
There's a lot broken and aged. That's why I brought up the idea of sounding the cemetery to make sure that we know where all the graves are located. There's a company inside the village of South Russell that has existed for 25 years. They did Chagrin, they did Pepper, Pike Cemeteries, Chagrin Cemeteries, Bainbridge Cemetery. They've done most all surrounding areas where they identify the whole cemetery, and if there are remains that are unmarked, they would be able to tell us that they're there.
So what's the cost of this?
I would have to give them the information before they can give us.
Okay, could you get a quote for us, and in the meantime, do the waiver? Solicitor?
Eric?
Okay.
How do they do that? Is that a rolling GPR unit that they use?
Yeah, they kind of pull it along the ground, he said, and it
Okay,
bounces.
I've seen that
Yeah.
before, I was just curious.
Yeah.
So we would need to do the west side and along the south side, the west and the south, the rest.
I think he would probably want to just give us a price to do the whole thing.
The cemetery.
The cemetery, and identify every section of it, which, I would think that we would, if you would want to go that route, you would do behind where as well in that section, just to make sure it was not.
You would have to clean it out first though, right? Okay, so
My concern with cleaning out and not knowing where all the graves are is because these are probably pre-vaulted, we run the risk of falling in the graves.
They're all pre-vaulted, most of them.
So let's get this clear now. Solicitor's going to work on the waiver. Want to consider a survey to know the property limits. And we're going to consider a company to let us know where the graves are.
in the meantime, do the cleanup so they can get at it?
Yeah, you can't even hardly walk to it
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah, as soon as 103 is.
Yeah, first 103.
Yeah,
Then the
103,
cleanup,
and then,
the ground penetrating radar.
Yeah.
And do it that way. Okay.
and then the 103's time constraints, just work around those, which
Yeah.
works for us too, because of the projects we have.
Sure.
Going, so.
Okay.
So we can just jump to the top of your to-do list or close to the top.
I can wrap Maple Hill up and head that over to that.
Yeah,
So-
that comes
so
first, I would think.
At July meeting, we can say that we own this amount of land, this is where the graves are.
I can say that I can call
Good try.
the surveyors and get it arranged.
Yeah, we gotta clean it out first,
Yeah.
get back there.
I don't want anybody falling through.
So as a follow-up, if you can, whenever you get done with your tasks at hand, if you send me there just to go with one of the guys, because on the Coatsworth end, we're not taking any trees down,
Right.
but the brush, they don't mind.
Okay.
So I'd be more than happy
Perfect.
to put mosquito spray on and just see what's what back there, because I could barely walk into it.
That's fantastic. There's a retaining wall on it would be the southwest corner of it that has collapsed and slid down into 103's yard as well. That will have to either remove all that debris out, the blocking out of it, or rebuild that wall.
We're sure it's in the yard, or it could be that extra, because 10 extra feet was sold in about 1850.
So it appears that the retaining wall would be on the corner of the fence line. On that 103's corner, closest to Southwick's corner, that fence line right there where the back fence and the side fence meet, that has a retaining wall that has given way. And it even kind of, the whole corner of the cemetery kind of.
Well, that wasn't for a survey, but now I think this will answer a lot of questions. It's gonna be expensive.
Anything else for a street commissioner? Street committee.
Street committee had a special meeting on May the 21st. Primarily talked about our tax budget worksheet. We had two other things on the agenda. One was the bids for we went out to bid for the truck for the service department. We received no bids for bid openings. So now the committee is going to have to consider whether we go through Sourcewell and use the state bid pricing, or if we choose to go back for another opportunity to receive bids. We will do that at our next meeting. We did not end up having a meeting last Thursday due to some absences of committee members who were not going to make it, so we need to reschedule that for sometime soon. We can do that through Danielle this week. Throw you some dates and you could ask the committee.
Chris, could you propose a date, because we'd like to dovetail public utilities right after your meeting, if possible.
Sure.
Questions of the street committee? Okay.
Yeah, the only other thing we talked about was the road diet, but we don't, like I mentioned earlier, we don't have a estimate yet for the striping, removal of the existing and restriping. June. Oh gosh, sorry.
Maybe the 24th?
The 24th at 5:30 works for me. Does that work for now?
No, I'm out next week.
You are all next week? Okay. You may have to wait till July. Why don't I send some dates to Danielle in the interest of time tonight?
Can you copy public utilities so we can see if everybody can attend?
Yeah. I just want to make sure we do the sunshine anyway.
All right, thank you.
Yep, that's all I have. Pending any comments from my fellow committee members.
None.
Questions of the street committee? Hearing none, building committee.
Building committee met a week ago on June 8th. I have a list. Some of it's already been handled. The discrepancies that were noted by Dave Hosevar and others as far as the salt building, those seem to, as of today, finally be more or less ironed out, and may it be so. 20 years from now, I'll be 92. I want that building still standing. Let's see. There was the decision in there to engage Bill Gallagher as a structural person, and Dave Hosevar stated that he thought this was necessary, so we will have a bill coming from Bill Gallagher. This was not gratis. Let's see. And then Mayor covered how there was a group meeting, including, I just don't know if Eric was here, Tim was here, you were here, Jerry Canton was here, and Dave Hosevar. Did I miss anybody?
Bill Gallagher, and then 5 people from his side.
Okay, on June 9th, and I'm grateful that everybody that did that came together and got that ironed out. CMG is the one that employed Isaac Lewin as a structural engineer, and it made me relieved to hear Dave Hosevar say that he felt that Lewin is an excellent structural guy and would trust what he said. So right now we have 2 people, 2 experts that say it was great. Let's see. our new admin assist, Colleen, seems to be working out great over there. And may this continue, because it's hard to lose Ruth Griswold, and knock wood, everything seems to be going very well. I don't know if everybody's had an opportunity to meet Colleen. If not, I hope you'll have time to stop in. We did discuss at the building committee meeting, the septic language of 5 years that the county has enforced on all of us versus our old 3-year, where everybody in South Russell gets their septic tank cleaned out every 3rd year. We'd already instructed Bridie to go ahead and dump our, that's the wrong word, to remove our old septic language, and there were problems with it. There's no current computer program. We'd have to buy one to the tune of about $10,000 if we wanted to keep the every 3rd year inspection. I respect Dave Hosevar. He felt it was worthwhile to keep the every 3rd year. I feel the county's doing the same thing, takes away one task. Let's go with the every 5 years. What I don't know is, and maybe Mayor, you can answer this because you were on public health, and are you still on public health?
Yes.
Is there a punishment, so to speak, if people ignore their septic tanks and don't have them cleaned out every 5 years? What happens?
I can't speak for sure. There is a consequence, but I don't want to say right now what it is.
I think it's a fine.
It's a fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah, I think so.
So hopefully life gets miserable if you don't. And we do have 293 septic tanks. The rest is sewered for South Russell. So it's not cut and dried, but mostly east of Sunridge,
Sunridge has septics, and everyone on the south side.
east of
has
there,
septic.
and then east of from Pawpaw on back.
Yes.
And that is, unless there's questions, Mark, do you want to add anything to buildings here that I've missed?
You want to set another meeting?
Yes, and Tim, you responded to me, well, you're not building, so that wouldn't be you. Jerry can do anytime. Did you look at my email today?
Yes.
Okay, pick your dates, June 29th or 30th, or July 13th or 14th, and I'd rather go with the earlier.
I'm out of town the 29th and 30th, so 13th
Is a Monday, I think.
Are you doing early, 8 a.m.?
8 a.m., because we have to get you to work.
Yeah, that's fine. Monday, 8 a.m., July 13th for building.
Okay, so there
8
you are.
a.m. at the building office.
Building office. So Danielle, you got that 8 a.m. on July 13th? Yep. Thank you. That's buildings.
Questions of the building committee? Hearing none, Chief, you're up.
Thank you. I submitted a month-end report and I have nothing further to report unless council wants to throw another project at me.
Now that you mention it.
I apologize.
Why did you avoid the salt dome, Chief?
I don't
Everyone
know.
got dragged into
I
it.
didn't want to touch that one with a 10-foot pole.
And you shouldn't have to, or any anchor bolts.
All right,
I have a question.
questions of the police chief,
I
Mary?
have a question. Can the police share the body armor, or is that like fitted for it's like personally fitted?
Personally fitted, yeah.
Okay. So if we have someone move on or something, what do we do?
So the good news is we can reuse the
Okay.
panels and we just buy a new outer carrier.
Oh, I see.
So yeah, we
Okay.
can, if they're not that old, like for example, recently,
Yeah,
if they're within, a few months, we can actually reuse the panels if the fit is close.
nice. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, a follow-up indelicate question. How do those get cleaned if people get sweaty?
It's basically the outer carrier is removable and you can run it through the wash. The inner Kevlar panels have to be wiped, and it's basically Lysol spray and Lysol wipes. So you can maintain it that way, but you can wash the outer
They're
carriers.
very expensive, aren't
Yeah,
they?
yeah.
Thanks, Chief.
Questions of the chief? All right, safety committee.
Jerry's out.
Oh,
Um,
go.
Sure.
I think we have
Okay.
a meeting scheduled.
Yeah, we do. What's the date, Chief?
It is Friday, the 26th at 8 a.m.
And we're talking about in June. So June 26th,
Correct.
8 a.m. at
PD.
the police department. Okay.
I can start if you want to finish up. We did discuss some personnel issues, and the chief will be looking for applicants, part-time applicants.
Not as much. We'll have 2 full-time openings. We have another part-time applicant, so both, but we have 1 part-time applicant, and then the 2 full-time applicants. So when we lost the 2 full-time officers that went over to Levine, it was a big hit, and then Ed Swoboda retired on top of that. So we got his replacement at least. So we're working on it.
Do we need to accept the resignations of the 2 officers?
We'll do that later this evening.
Later, okay.
Okay.
Very good. I have nothing further, Mayor, unless.
Anything else from the safety
Councilwoman-
committee?
Are we missing anything?
Nope, that's it.
You give good reports at the end of, before meetings. Thank you.
HR committee.
HR committee met June 8th, and the draft minutes in the packet. Just a couple of comments. We are going through the process of asking our employees to update their job descriptions. That is in process, and hopefully we'll get that feedback in the next 30 days or so. And then we will sit down and go through updating all the job descriptions for our employees. There's been discussion about the safety compliance officer, who is the appropriate person to fill that role for the village. While no decision has been made, there was a discussion at the HR meeting, and it was suggested that maybe the police lieutenant would be the appropriate person to handle that role. We need to put together, again, job description, duties, authority, et cetera, and have more discussion on that. But I open that up to council for their consideration. And we will come back to you, hopefully in July, with that thought. I also handed to you this evening a motion. It's 24-6. So this goes back a couple of years, and I've edited it. It's an employee recognition policy. It's a statement that we would have an event each year to celebrate and promote all of our village employees and invite and recognize employees or elected officials who have recently retired. And to allocate funds as such. In discussion with the fiscal officer, since we're in June and we clearly will not make that date, I'm proposing a date of a luncheon at Tavern 6 on Friday, October 2nd, for that purpose, to recognize all of our village employees. So I don't know if council wants to take more time to consider, or if they're willing to vote on the matter this evening.
I'm sorry, wrong week. Yep, it's Friday. That is after the Fall Fest, so that date's great with me.
Do we want to add this to the ordinance about events? Like an employee
It's
appreciation?
already on there,
It's already there?
because we always had an appreciation event until a few years ago.
Okay, so this motion, what are we doing with this?
I'm
motion?
just resurrecting the,
I mean, I'm sorry, the ordinance we have is to be allowed to buy food for this event. So, but this is more detailed of the dollar amount for the event and who would be invited.
So does this kind of take the place of what we did at Christmas time, or it just is?
no, I think the holiday party is something totally separate, and is a good event that needs to continue to happen. But instead of selectively recognizing departments in our village, we should go back. I understand they used to have a picnic event, what have you. We're suggesting having it at one of the local restaurants so that we don't end up with some of our employees having to work their recognition party. That doesn't seem appropriate to me.
So this is a clarification of the ordinance?
Yeah. Essentially.
No? Solicitor's shaking her head, no.
I don't think it has anything to do with the ordinance, actually.
No.
This is just a motion that it's a policy to add to the employee.
I guess my only question is, if we're gonna be making this reservation on this policy, it says family and guests of the employees and residents are welcome to attend. So is that how we're doing it, or are we just doing, I thought it was, we discussed in committee as employees, right?
I left it on there for the consideration of council. If council wants to think about it and come back to it in July, I think we still have time to.
I think maybe come back to it in July, but if you invite the residents and all 4,000 show up.
We'll be over budget.
5,000 doesn't seem like it's gonna make it.
So maybe just family.
I'll bring the 5 loaves and the 2 fishes and make it work.
Maybe need to bring somebody else.
Okay, we will continue that discussion in July.
Okay. Yeah, we'll hammer it out. We got time.
The next meeting for the HR committee, I am suggesting as July 20th, Monday at 8 a.m. And subject to your comments and questions, that concludes the report.
Questions of the HR committee? Hearing none, I have one. I've been talking for a while about what I feel is an inequality in the way we treat our employees. Most employees, their feet are on the ground, sit in a nice chair in an air-conditioned office. They seldom get dirty. They seldom are in danger. They have standard hours. They know when they're working, when they're off. Our street employees, many times are on their feet. Sometimes the feet are 6 feet in the ground, maybe 20 feet in the air. They get dirty. They have issues with safety. They're on call 24/7, 365. We're sitting in our homes and the snowplow goes down on Christmas Day. They're out away from their families and we're at home. Saturdays and Sundays, they're expected to come back, clean the pavilion, pick up the garbage, and clean the bathroom. We provide 8 hours of clerical staff for the building department, 8 hours for the fiscal department, 16 hours clerical staff for the street, for the safety. We provide nothing for the street department. So, starting Monday, June 2nd, the week of June 2nd, I'm asking the fiscal officer to provide 2 hours of clerical staff for the street department. June 29th week, 4 hours clerical staff. July the 6th, 6 hours. From July the 13th, 8 hours in all subsequent hours. This is an issue that needs to be addressed. It is unfair. Employees feel they're second class, and this can help solve that issue.
Comment to that, hold on. Oh, I'm sorry, Mark. Comment to that.
He said the second, but did you mean the 20-something?
No.
You said June 2nd. We're past that.
June 22nd,
Okay.
next week, 2 hours next week.
I appreciate you being aware of inequalities for any employee. I appreciate that, I really do. But a little bit of a history lesson here is that a year ago, this council was told that if we hired one more laborer, the street commissioner would have more time to do paperwork and administrative work. So we made the move to add one more full-time employee to that department. That hasn't changed as far as administrative work. And now you're telling us there's inequality. We gave a full-time equivalent. So I think you're providing a false narrative here. one, that sounds like we don't appreciate, and two, that there's a need for administrative help when we gave the opportunity for that a year ago by providing another full-time employee. That's all I have to say.
Anything else?
I'd like to say that I've reached out to the street commissioner. I told him if he needed administrative help, that him and I could sit down and figure out what that help is and the best way to handle it. I made that offer several times and have not heard back.
Okay, and let's get this done by next Friday.
But he has to sit down with me and show me what he needs, and then we can make it arranged.
You do that with the other people too, and have a
Well, he
standard
works for
that you should know.
She works for, the part-timer works for the chief and myself. And we have her cross-training in the building department because we had nobody trained there. And then she started helping me, but actually most of the help is still in the building department because of the transition.
Okay, so the two of you will get together and get this solved.
Yep.
As a note, Mayor,
Yes.
the police department is also on call 24/7, correct me if I'm wrong, Chief.
Yes.
And they have had occasions where they have had to respond to mutual aid, to other things. So it would be inaccurate to say the street department only does this, but I know that the chief doesn't drive a snowplow. I know Tim can and does, and that the call-outs are more common, I would say, with the street departments. But I don't think anybody has more admiration for the street department than this council and what they do on a daily basis, what they're asked to do.
I
So.
was here yesterday when the storms came through.
And I was going somewhere and I saw Jeff Pausch driving out because of the fallen tree on Royal Oak, right? He had just taken care of that. So I understand what you're saying, Mayor, and if the street commissioner would benefit from some admin support, I'm sure Danielle would be able to assist in that, along with the chief, giving him some admin support as you suggest. But to my mind, you're the executive, and if you want employees to do this or that without an increase in pay or responsibilities, then I think you should.
Say, note that we prefer the managers manage rather than a part-time elected official.
Indeed, but here we have an opportunity to provide some admin support where it might be needed.
Again, we hired a full-time equivalent employee for last year to solve this issue, and we're having the same discussion, yet we have another full-time employee.
We do.
So the issue comes back to the same spot.
I would say it does, and perhaps a new approach is needed.
Tim,
By pushing admin work over right now, offering assistance, you're doing the same thing without using the new solution. Yeah.
We're not giving another.
No, well, what I'm saying is, we're saying, yeah, we'll give you admin help, but
We have
we give you a
existing-
full-time employee so you didn't have, so you could have time.
We have an existing employee who may be able to assist and learn over at the street department. So
I would suggest that the street commissioner take upon the opportunity, it's been given ample opportunities from the fiscal officer and the police chief to learn administrative functions here. We've been talking about this ad nauseum for a year and a half.
now's a good time for the street commissioner and the fiscal officer to arrange for the admin support, in my view.
So then
Let it be done.
the follow-up has to be that Tim reaches out to Danielle and tries to set this up?
I think Tim would
I
consider
agree with that,
it.
you guys, one office is here, the other office is there, you can meet somewhere, I don't know, by the street sign, by the mailbox, and take care of this. Does that sound reasonable?
I think it sounds extremely reasonable, you know why? Because it's happened multiple times.
Let us move it forward then.
I hope so. I don't want to have this discussion ever again.
I agree.
Okay, we're back to the property committee. Thank you. We knocked off the CMG payment.
Properties, we met on June 8th. And let's see what I haven't done. Tim, we're still awaiting the Welcome to South Russell signs to be put up.
Yeah, they're here, so we're painting them.
Say that again?
Their signs are, the foundations are in and done. The sign posts are here now, they're completed. They have to, our guys have to now paint them, that's it, and then they'll be installed.
Were they wood previously,
They
the
were.
posts?
They're correct, yes.
So it's legal to have the metal, we have metal?
Yes, the only thing that we're looking into is adding, we may have to make some cuts on them for the breakaway to ensure breakaway.
Okay, so will that get done? Give me a,
They're scheduled to work on that and finish that this week.
okay, good. We already discussed what I'm calling the roadblocks at Rarick. I want to thank Mary for doing the initial reach out to 103. So that's all been done. The bricks between the garage, the falling apart bricks,
Yes.
tell me about that.
So we have the materials to do them and Jeff has just volunteered to do them. So he'll be working on that on rain dates.
Okay, great.
Coley has experience a lot as a bricklayer.
I knew
Is that
somebody
right?
was a bricklayer.
None of the guys have said that. I've asked them and none of them say they do. However, Jeff feels confident that he can do.
I recall Jeff's interview before he was hired, correct me if I'm wrong there, but he said he did a lot of brickwork if needed. So if he is so experienced, he'd be the guy.
We have a looming issue with properties. Do we want more parking for specifically the farmer's market? There's yeses and nos. I have had people come to me, mostly neighbors, that are big farmer's market aficionados, and they said parking is an issue. Mayor has said he thinks there's enough parking, but I think we need to talk about this and decide what we're going to do, particularly with the southeast corner. And I'm willing to hear what anybody has to say of my fellow council people.
When the salt structure is done with construction, does that give us the ability to move the booths down further to the east?
Add more booths, you're saying?
Well, they can move the booths where they start now, move further to the east and get a few more spots down on this end, or is it still just not enough?
I don't know, because I, quite frankly, haven't been here in a couple of years at the farmer's market. It probably behooves me to show up.
They essentially line the drive between the buildings here from the front of the service department back to where the salt structure is now. It kind of stops because of the construction debris.
If the salt dome were not there, would that
Provide more room
improve
too, or parking, or booth space.
When do we think the salt dome's coming down? Next year or this year?
Not soon enough.
Next windstorm.
Okay, so that's long term, so short term, I don't know, Mayor, what do you think? You're there every Saturday, I believe.
Yes, I say if this is a concern, simply put a sign out here, says additional parking, and they come down and park at the other end behind the police station.
Does
There's
that,
plenty of parking behind the police
does that
station.
impinge on you?
Oh, yeah, it's not a problem
It
now.
really depends on, how busy it gets, but, yeah, I'd rather not have them driving through because they come through at a real high rate of speed, so having it blocked is nice.
Yeah, no one gets through. No one drives
Yeah,
through.
having it blocked like it is now is.
So it's blocked at the end, they can't go behind there? So there's one way in, one way, same way out?
This way.
Okay.
Which is, I would prefer to stay that way.
Does that ever get busy and crowded?
Yes.
So maybe the corner lot could be temporary parking?
Is it too soft? I don't know.
It's hard now, but we've tried to break them of the habit of parking there because we're gonna do something there.
But we do have the option of expanding that.
It's, I guess parking is a non-issue to the farmer's market people. We get everybody in, we park them, it's not an issue.
Well, I wonder why,
An additional sign, we can put an additional sign, send them down to the police station.
I wonder why the farmer's market came to the village and asked what could they do to get more parking? Because that happened within the last 10 days.
Oh.
So you're telling us it's not an issue. Somebody at the farmer's market is telling us it is an issue.
Was it Tiffany?
I can't speak to that. They had a problem. And I will repeat my concern that if we have people parking across 306 at the shopping center over there, that they do not take advantage of the light at 306 in Bell, but they jaywalk across 306, and that's a safety issue for me.
So maybe the solution is the parking that the chief suggested?
Yeah. I mean, if you think that solves the problem, or if you don't think they have a problem, then we can move on, but.
Well, if there is no problem and there's more parking, it's not an issue. If there is a parking problem, people can park there and perhaps solve the issue.
And we need to have it solved before we decide what we're gonna do with the southeast and southwest lots as well.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I would like something kind of firm for the July meeting so that we know what to plan on.
Well, between now and then, we got what, 4 farmer markets or 3?
4.
So perhaps we authorize through the mayor, the chief, to implement this expanded parking plan.
Let's start with the sign says additional parking. We send them in here, they can park in behind the police station.
So
Plenty of
by,
parking on a
so by
Saturday morning.
behind the police station, I need that delineated. I don't want anybody in the way.
Yeah, I mean, again, if it's busy and, the driveway starts to become congested and we can't get, out, that would be a problem, but I've not experienced it on a Saturday.
We have one police officer on a Saturday morning. There's plenty of parking, but there are two. Like, I don't count his motorcycle.
Can I just make a recommendation that at least the farmer's market or whomever provides like a revised plan? Because our agreement right now is pretty specific as to where the parking is and where the booths are and that sort of thing. It would just be helpful to have that in writing or some sort of, kind of, again, a revised plan would be helpful.
Sure, but as a temporary solution, the additional parking sign may work. In the meantime, let's ask the farmer's market for a new plan.
Or just a revised or an additional
Revised plan, yeah.
supplemental.
Yeah.
I don't want to nitpick. It changes every week.
Oh, it does?
Yeah,
Oh.
so, okay, but I'll talk to her. All right,
Okay,
anything else on
I'm not-
property?
Yeah, there's a little bit more. If I can read my own writing. We did have a planning commission meeting on last Thursday, 6/11. And the issue was to upgrade lighting and, I'm quoting now, change the brand look of Gulf stations from blue and white to a lot of orange. On the signage, and they go by square footage of what gets changed. It was tabled because the planning commission worried that there could be more glare issues, and we had this previously when this was discussed, I don't know, 5-6 years ago. There were complaints, there was too much glare into the Fox neighborhood. So, as part of the glitz of being on planning commission, we have been assigned to go to Huntsburg, where a station of this ilk exists, and see it at dark and see what the lighting is like. I don't know how that helps us because Huntsburg is fairly rural, and I don't know if it impinges on neighborhoods, but I'm gonna take a drive out there at dark some night. And that we're still settling the date, the July date for planning commission to go forward. And that, I believe, is all I have for properties.
Thank you, Ruth. Anything else for properties? Ruth, we're at the park committee. You still up?
Parks Committee, we met the end of May. I think it was the 26th. Fall Fest planning is in full swing. Libby Sharkey has already contacted the entertainment group that was Flower Entertainment. Greg Gam has contacted A1 Limo, and I believe the mayor is going to, and probably already has talked to the school to make sure we can park there on September.
I don't do this. That's not mine. I don't think. I got the music, the life flight,
Okay,
and the food trucks.
somebody is going to talk to,
I think Greg, doesn't Gam do that?
okay.
Former teacher, so.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the limo that gets people from Gurney School on down to the park and back and forth all afternoon. We have, Tim reminded me that I forgot about hay wagons. And so we'll have one tractor, 2 wagons connected. Is that the plan?
That's what we did last year.
Is that the plan for this year?
It was really good.
Okay, I mean, people like them. They like riding through the woods like that. We have, additionally, Patrick Gibney has completed his project, and I felt it looked a little spare. I'm going to talk with him. It's 9 plants of butterfly bush and some, what's the echinacea? What's the other word for that? That purple stuff, purple, I think. So there's 9 plants total.
Coneflower.
Thank you. With a bunch of mulch in between. And I said, I'd like to see something low, maybe, and I don't want Pachysandra, I don't want ivy, I don't want anything that's gonna grow out of control. So maybe even, I'm gonna talk to Patrick and see if we can't just make it look a little fuller. And if he has a teeny bit of money left, I'd even be willing to kick in. It just needs something. So if anybody wants to drive by and take a look at this, it's a very good job. He did an excellent as far as placement and so on and so forth. That's where that is, and he has been a joy to work with.
I saw it today. I noticed the plantings, yeah.
Yeah. The last thing, Mr. Berger brought up at last meeting, I think it was at last meeting, that there is money out there to improve the playground at the park for toddler space to the tune of $25,000. So at the last parks meeting with mayor and the park committee, which included Jerry, the whole group, we kind of spaced out where we'd like to go, which would be the northwest corner of the actual playground part only, where we could get more or less baby swings and more safety equipment for the real little kids. There's lots of stuff for the toddlers that are happy to go like that to the little kids. And so I appreciate you doing that, and somehow we need to bring that forward to get it done now. Should I make a motion?
No, I don't think you're ready yet.
Okay.
I don't think you're ready, but
You're talking about going out for a grant or making this change to the park?
Making a change. Yeah.
we don't know what we're buying yet.
No, we don't.
I think you need to get a schematic of what it would look like.
Yeah.
And I would encourage you to contact whoever, yeah, go ahead, Tim.
I've already contacted a playground company, coincidentally, unbeknownst to me, was the original installer. They're gonna work on a 25 by 25, under 5 and under kind of themed play area. They said that they will gladly provide us with 3D renderings and everything as well.
I wasn't on council when they did that, so can you tell us the name of that company?
It was a number given to me for a playground company, and
Mayor, do you know?
No, it's on the playground though, someplace. They got a.
So that's good. They have a working
Yep,
knowledge.
yeah.
Okay, 25 by 25 roughly. All right, thank you.
Matching, keeping the same theme as what we have as far as like the look, not, keeping in line.
So I'm following up on I just added this part tonight, listening to Catherine Malmquist about the potential for a burn and the mowing. I think that we kind of left it up to the farmer to come mow when he was ready. Do we need to put some restrictions on that?
It's after August 1st, according to the easement.
It's after August 1st?
It has to be after August 1st.
Okay.
And didn't we authorize the South Park burning in September, Mayor?
Yes, it was for later in the year.
Still a little concerned that we don't have enough to burn. I talked to him, I saw him about 3 weeks ago. He could look at it in October.
This is Paul Pira?
Yeah, Paul Pira from the Geauga County Parks. He thinks it'd be nice if we had a little bit more to burn up.
Well, after the Fall Festival, of course,
Yeah.
sometime in October, so it'll be
Yes.
well after the bobolink.
Yeah,
birds.
bobolinks will be gone the end
They'll
of
be
June.
gone by then.
Yeah,
Okay.
and we'll just save on the south part, we'll save the west side. Let that, won't hay the east side. So ideally, we'll be able to look, this part was burnt, this part wasn't. A year from now to say what's better, if we do it a year from now.
And then just following up, we need a motion for parks. Okay, I need to make a motion to approve the Fall Festival date of Sunday, September 20th, 2026. Hours will be 1 to 5. So moved.
Second.
Moved in second, discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Hang on, Mayor.
Whoops.
Is there a rain date?
No rain date,
Okay, and this is rain or shine?
rain, shine, well, if it's rain, we'll probably close it down.
Okay.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes, Ruth.
Underneath parks, butterfly release, this is potential butterfly release. Judy Harvey has called me and is interested in doing this, and I need to have a meeting with her and with Kelly Jarzenbach, who is the butterfly person that was willing to do it with us 3 or 4 years ago, but the weather didn't go well. If you don't do it by August, I think the right word is chrysalises, they don't last into September. So I need to get together with those two ladies, see what we can come up with. And I believe, Mayor, you had something on the docket, maybe for the 22nd of August?
I just figured if you're gonna do that on a Saturday, you wanna do the ice cream bike ride the same day, if you wanna do that.
And that's a Saturday, August 20th?
I've just thought about it, done nothing.
Okay.
That's a great idea.
It would be, because kids would be around.
Oh, yeah.
And we already covered bocce ball.
Gotcha.
But I gotta add something for properties. When I'm standing at my kitchen window, I look out at Anthony and Tracy Turbino's yard over there. And I would just like to say, they mow 2 to 3 times as much as I do. You take great care of that yard. So, thank you.
Now it's official in the record.
Tracy's parents built that house when, years and years. Pardon?
89?
I think it was 89. When Roy Matthews died, the whole it was a farm and we sledded on it and nobody told us, be careful, there's a bull over there with those beef cows. So we would just go up there and, and thank God nobody ever got hurt. But, they don't get away with anything but a little more in the summer because the leaves block.
Welcome to the village. You've been here how long?
I grew up here, since '89, but I moved away for college and then lived in Florida for a long time.
You met
We've been back
somebody,
to
right? You met somebody? Okay.
Somebody along
in Florida, brought him back to Cleveland.
I'll just advise you to be careful because like the guy for the Architecture Review Board, the new person for the Planning Commission, people volunteer and all of a sudden we get our hooks in you. So. Sure. All right, anything else, Ruth?
I am done talking.
Questions of the Parks Committee? Hearing none, the Public Utilities Committee.
Thank you, Mayor. The Public Utilities meeting was set to meet last week, but did not because of the absence of some members. And we will get a new date. We're hoping to dovetail it with the, right after the Streets Committee meeting sometime in July. What's on our docket right now is July 16th. Committee members are going to go to Russell Township, meet with the trustees, and present them with the paperwork showing the expenditure for the Walters Road project and their prior interest in splitting the bill with us to the tune of approximately $30,000. And we'll see how that goes. We'll have a meeting in July, and at this point, if the engineer could comment on the Hazelwood project, how that is going, surveys and whatnot.
Survey is in process. I sent kind of a very mysterious email out about like, hey, we might need the village to assist in like opening some of the existing inlet basins or locating some things. I'm still waiting on, I'm not gonna tell Tim to have his guys just go out there and look at all the inlets on the north side of Hazelwood and find the ones that, like my surveyors need to tell me which ones they're having problems with so I can relay those on. So I'm still waiting on some clarification there, but yeah, the survey is in process. We've got some preliminary design done already, even though the survey isn't fully complete. We're moving. And going back to like the Hemlock / Walters Road culvert replacement, CMG replaced that concrete roadway repair, and I also climbed down to make sure that they cleaned out the inlet of on the upstream side of that culvert, and they did. Grouted everything around. They did. I'm just waiting for the grass to grow.
That's the Russell Township thing we're going to be presenting the cost for. But we were advised that we cannot go out for bid for the Hazelwood project until after July 1st, as I recall.
Right.
Do you have an idea when we might be able to go out for bid for that?
It'll be after July 1st. No, I'm thinking that we should have a full plan set generated, sometime in August. So I'll sink my teeth into that when I get it from our design team and share that with everybody, before we do, obviously, for review. But I'm thinking, I can't see us having a full plan set or having a preliminary plan set that's ready for bid, before then.
Okay, so September bid, perhaps?
Perhaps.
So as I recall, we were hoping to get it done this year into next year with the.
Yeah, I was hoping, and I still am. I mean, it's still very feasible to do the underground work, actually put the pipe in, this fall and into winter, and in the springtime, fix the road and the grass and the grading.
Mark, what was the meeting for Russell Township again?
It was for the Walters Road project.
No, I'm sorry, the date.
July
July 16th at 6 PM. And as I recall, the fiscal officer sunshine that already.
A couple of things. Eric, first of all, compliment to you, the way you've been handling that Hazelwood and keeping Bill Stone. Bill's kind of the unofficial mayor of that area.
Every area has an unofficial mayor.
And he is. Secondly, the work that's been done on Maple Hill has drawn the attention of the people who live now on Silver Springs, and that water then flows down to Pawpaw. So we want to keep an eye on that situation. They've done a masterful job up on Maple Hill, but they're concerned that more water is going to come down. So maybe that's a good thing for the agenda item. One last thing on the parks. Coming out is a very tentative, rough proposal for an event. This is an event that I'll be bringing to you in July. And this is the camp out and the meal and all that stuff. Take a look at it. It has not gone through the normal process yet. So next time we have a park committee meeting and the property committee meeting, and then it will come to council. But I want to give everybody a heads up at this point so that you get an idea as to what I'm thinking. All right, now we are at the Safe Bicycle and Pedestrian Transport Committee.
The committee met on June 5th. We had a really, really nice meeting. Councilmember Rensel invited Foundation for Geauga Parks to meet with us, and I thought it was super informational and informative. It's a lot of the same meetings. The gist of it is they can be a good partner for us to help us find grant opportunities for pedestrian initiatives, including that. They can serve as the nonprofit partner. They can help coordinate fundraising efforts, potentially act as like the fiscal sponsor. The fiscal sponsor for any grant opportunities if needed. So really it's more of, they're not just saying, hey, you can apply for money with us and we'll give you guys money. It's they don't have those kind of funds that we're looking for, but they can direct us to the right people and help us kind of hold our hand and slow walk us through a lot of opportunities that are out there that we're not even aware of. We'll lean on council members Rensel and Kavanaugh for your thoughts on the meeting.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it was just nice to know what they've done. They've done trails in the area near Geauga Hospital and other trails in different communities, and have knowledgeable staff members on, state, local, federal grants, and a lot of grant writing experience. I thought they were, and they're interested. They don't only do work within the park system, they do work in Geauga County.
I am so dead set against being on the cemetery side. I still want this on the north side of Bell if it were to go forward. And I'm just listening to the neighbors. People seem to be not wanting this. And a lot of it is cost. What's the thought of the ballot placement? Where are we with that?
It's up for a third reading, is it not?
Third reading this evening, yes.
Okay.
Anything else with administrative technology?
I have some questions.
Safe Flight, Counselor.
Of the engineer. I know before you referred me to somebody else in Verdanus, because it sounds like the residents had questions, where, what tree would come down, where would it be, would a fence come down? Is it possible to get more information so that we could answer these questions
I
in
did
detail?
some quick looking,
Yeah.
while we were kind of, as a group, talking through other issues during the meeting. The proposal as it sits now for a 5-foot extension, keeps the project well within the right of way that we have. The tamarack tree does not appear to be, it appears to be, it was tough to tell from the aerial. But it looks like it's either close to the right of way line or on the residential side of the right of way line. If we came out if the path stayed on the south side of Bell and we were coming out 5 feet, we wouldn't be affecting the tamarack tree. As far as fences, I kind of looked to the quick scan on the north side and the south side. And the fences, I don't see any fences on the aerials that were inside the right of way. They were either at the right of way line or behind it. So as far as fences are concerned, I didn't see any conflict with fences. And I didn't see an issue with the tamarack tree, but thank you for bringing that to our attention, because that's not something that.
Like 5 feet, I don't think it would be an issue any more than that.
And then perhaps you could get into roots and other things.
Yeah, we'd just like to address the residents' concerns.
Yeah.
So it generally would be the utility pole to the street, that area.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, thank you. And
It's
then-
right in line with the utility pole.
Right.
Utility poles are in the fence.
Yeah.
Okay, and then solicitor, also the residents were asking about bikes and shared use and Ohio Revised Code. I know when I asked you that before in an email, then there was past research towards that.
Right.
Could we have something on our website so we could refer the residents to read more about that?
Yeah, I mean, that would be up to council if they want to.
Okay.
Waive that privilege.
I think we've said conflicting information about that as a group, like no bikes. It seems like the way I read it, it's like, depends on the use and the size of the town and how many people might be on it.
There's those links that you could probably put on, otherwise I think council would have to waive the privilege because it was protected.
Okay.
Attorney, question on that. If we permit bikes on the path, does that mean we're going to have to permit e-bikes and e-scooters on the path? Because e-scooters are regulated just like a bicycle and they're up to 20 miles an hour.
Yeah, I don't know. I will just tell you that the shared use path does have like the guidelines through, I think it was ODOT and the federal highway, I'm sorry, my computer died, but in any event, did a study that like basically 11 feet was like the median, if I'm not mistaken, for the level of service to have a shared use path, which would include bikes, pedestrians, scooters, I don't know. But I don't know if they would have to use the e-bike, I don't know. I know that obviously bikes and e-bikes can use the road, but I don't know if that then means the same thing for the shared use.
Yeah, legally they are, class 1 and class 2 e-bikes are permitted on shared use paths. So if that's what that is, I'm afraid they're going to be on the path as well. And scooters also, and they're rated at 20 miles an hour also. So the two class of e-bikes are 20 mile an hour, 1 and 2.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't look at that issue. I just looked at what would be the width of this shared use path. Is there something in the Ohio Revised Code requiring it to be X?
Okay.
That was all I looked at. I didn't look at whether or not e-bikes would then be included.
Yeah. The only e-bike that's not permitted on a path such as this would be class 3.
Yeah.
Because they're faster. 28 miles an hour.
The other thing it said is that roadway shoulders, how revised ODOT definitions, roadway shoulders, whenever pedestrians are expected, pedestrian facilities should be provided. Shoulders are not a substitute for a well-designed, pedestrian facility,
I think as a practical matter, you don't want e-bikes on a pedestrian pathway that's 5 feet wide.
No.
It'd be tough, yeah.
I mean, as a kid, the handlebars of my bike were probably 3 feet apart. And people people with a stroller with children in it, you see that on Bell. And that's a major concern if you have both bikes, especially e-bikes, e-scooters on a 5-foot path.
Yeah, well, right now they're walking right next to cars, so I think any improvement on their safety is my personal goal.
Mine too, but at the cost of 1.8 million minus 800,000, maybe the diet's the way to go.
Yeah, I know that we envision, smaller children and bikes on the path with their parents, but again, I feel the concern would be that if those other devices are permitted on the path, then we could be running into some headaches.
Is there any way to make the path like a walking or like a hold your bike only kind of path? And it just eliminate like riding the bike on the path altogether? Because that would solve like pedestrians being able to walk to the park or kids walking to school and then eliminate the problem with all kinds of bikes.
We could create our own ordinance, but I don't know, we would need to make sure we obey certain aspects of the law.
State statute.
Yeah.
And then enforcement becomes an issue.
Yeah, how would you enforce that?
I can tell you as a kid, I was supposed to walk my bike across crosswalks.
Yeah.
I don't recall really ever doing that.
No place for law enforcement.
Yeah, I hope the statute of limitations has expired on that one. Do you really want to bust 10-year-olds?
Maybe, I mean.
Maybe you only have to bust a couple and then the rest fall away. No, that seems like a slippery slope.
Another point that came up in our meeting, and Ruth and Mary, maybe you can help my memory a little bit, but there was a historical thing with the Coatsworth property that might come into play too.
Oh, the Old Century Home,
Right.
because it's not on the National Register. I better not say that. I don't think it's on.
She said no.
Doesn't have the plaque,
It has the century plaque only.
but not the National Historic plaque.
So, yeah, I mean, as far as South Russell history, that's a historic building, and the barn as well, because they hid out escaping slaves and helped them find their way to Canada. Oh, yeah, and Archibald Willard painted on the walls the same rendition of Spirit of '76 with the fife and drum guys.
In the barn or in the house?
In the house, and it's long gone.
Something else on safe bike, pedestrian transport?
Pending anything from my fellow committee members.
Only thing else, north side, if at all.
Okay.
My vote.
Any other questions for the safe bike people? Administrative technology, you're up.
Yep. First things first. I had a long dissertation on the event statement, and I'm pleased to see what the mayor has provided to us in terms of this potential event at the park without passing judgment on the subject matter. The structure is helpful, I think, so thank you for that. Appreciate if we can do that for all of our events. It helps us to understand what is required of our staffing.
Another thing, probably one of the last things should just be the money. Spell out where all the money's going.
Where all the money's going, yep. It tells us how to do this from a budgeting standpoint, staffing, and it also gives us something to review the event after the fact and say, did we do what we said we were going to do, and did it work? Would we do it again, or would we make changes? So it's a great tool for that. So thank you very much for your efforts in that regard. Admin Tech met on June 8th. At this time, I'd like to make a motion to appoint Phyllis Moreno as a citizen member of the Admin Tech Committee. So moved.
Second.
We cannot do that.
Why?
That is not one of the committees on the ordinance that allows for resident members. It's only, let me pull it up. There's only, I think there's 4 committees, but I don't believe that is one of the 4. So of the committees that allows resident members that are not council members, Public Utilities Committee, Properties Committee, Safe Bicycle and Pedestrian Transport Committee, and Streets Committee.
I apologize, Solicitor. I thought we changed that at the last meeting.
Uh,
I thought we adopted,
If we did, I apologize, I missed it.
well,
We would have to-
some of us did. I thought that's what we intended to do, was to amend the ordinance, which obviously we could do it tonight
Yes,
to include admin and tech.
if all five vote in favor, you can waive readings.
We did not.
So, okay, I apologize. I thought we'd done that. So an ordinance, to amend the ordinance to include the Administrative and Technology Committee for the purposes of having citizen members. So moved.
Second. Oh, you want to waive?
Well, excuse me, waive readings. We're in the ordinance.
Second.
Do I have a second for waiving?
Yes. Porter.
Yep.
Porter,
Aye.
Renzel,
Aye.
Bell.
Aye.
Berger.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Porter,
Aye.
Renzel,
Aye.
Bell,
Aye.
Berger,
Aye.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Thank you, council. So now I'll make a motion to appoint Phyllis Marino as a citizen member of the Admin Tech Committee. So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Phyllis is on.
Great, thank you.
Now, Solicitor, should we have done the same thing for the ARB, putting on alternates?
Maybe, I mean, I don't remember we ever talking about the alternate members. We could have, I suppose. I'm not super comfortable with doing ordinances like that on the fly, but that's fine.
Okay,
I
no,
just don't,
No, we won't.
Well, the difference is too that they're a board. You have to remember that too. I mean, the committees, they have to get permission from council. The boards are their own authority, so you have to be a little more careful.
Okay. All right. So on January 20th of this year, we adopted a chain of command document to help provide clarity in the absence of our elected officials in time of need. Under section 1 of that document, we stated that the building department staff will report directly to the mayor. We have since changed that with the addition of the new administrative assistant in the building department who reports to the fiscal officer. So at this time, I'm making a motion to amend the document for the chain of command to reflect that the building department administrative assistant reports to the fiscal officer. So moved.
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you. I handed out to you an agenda for the July 18th council retreat. You'll note that we have tentatively placed
I have an email out.
Marcy, yes, as an outside expert on organizational behavior to come and do an hour with council. We have also added a 4th hour to the meeting around strategic planning and development of a forward plan for the village. So I just provided that to you, so you have that to think about as we move towards July 18th. Also want to report that I thank you to the chief. All of the tech work that was on the list has been completed. I would ask the chief to remind council about the new microphone here and how to address it.
So again, speak loud and clear, please. If you're, looking down at the desk, it may not pick up. And for the audience, they would have to be at the edge of the table here or forward. So in the example of these two ladies here, they would have to step up somewhere in this region here to be able to be picked up. So anybody outside of the normal audience area would need to walk up. We just need to remind people of that as we have audience that would exceed our normal room size.
Thank you. And that'll be extremely helpful for those who are watching either live or at some later date this meeting. Okay. So the Village Hall basement project, we've addressed consolidating the administrative staff in one location. The nexus of the administrative activities of the village are focused on Village Hall. The basement has not been updated, to my knowledge, since the 1970s.
1978.
So it is in need of some assistance with some paint, some carpeting, new ceiling tiles and lights to make that a habitable spot for moving the building department administrative assistant to this location and adding space for the other admin assistant downstairs. So there is a quote that has been circulated for doing that work. It is $26,980 from J&K. And so I'd like to bring that forward at this time and make a motion to accept that bid to get the work done.
And this is just for existing basement.
This is for the existing basement.
Is the lighting issue being addressed through this, Chris?
Yes,
It is.
That's not included in that dollar.
Did I
The
misread
updated
that?
quote has it.
Where is that?
It's that second section, so,
Ceiling,
I mean, can you explain it?
height?
Yep, so the ceiling lighting, in an effort to acknowledge what Mark suggested is using the NOPEC grant, we added that section into the quote here. So that would be, again, we were gonna remove the ceiling tiles and lighting anyway and put new ceiling tiles up. To take advantage of the grant, we can utilize replacing that existing light structure because they were converted LED fixtures. So the fixtures are original. They replaced the ballast, a number of years back, and it's a converted. So we should be able to utilize that grant for new LED lighting and the conversion of the ceiling tiles.
So if the grant is applied to the 26,980, comes out to 11,980 net.
No, I think Danielle's got it separate, right? 13,400 would be the lighting project and the ceiling.
Right, so just to do the carpeting in the offices, the paint and the new ceiling as it is with the 2x4, and for him to strip the floors that are remaining tile, that's the 26,980. The 13,400 is for the light project. So if you want to do that you would have NOPEC funding, but I don't know if they would fund all of it. So you wanted us to get a price on that because it has to be energy related. So I don't know how much of that they would fund. So if you wanted to do the lighting, that would be an additional 13,400, which could be offset by some grant funding.
Grant was 15,000, as I recall. Does that sound right?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So it's basically a wash if we do that with the grant funding.
We just don't know if they would include the ceiling tiles and the grid and all of that.
It makes sense to me that you have to remove that to get at the lighting, to do the replacement. And actually, the ceiling tile forms some kind of insulation, which they're big into.
Yeah.
And as such, I don't recall them asking a lot of questions when we used the 15,000 grant years ago to insulate somewhere. Here, Village Hall.
Yeah, the exterior walls.
They didn't ask us, did you do all 4 walls or just 2? They said, thank you, and they sent us money the next year because we had done a project. So I would be in favor of doing the lighting, using the grant to offset it.
It's been moved. Do we have a second?
Second.
Discussion.
So that would be to approve everything. So we have 10,291 for November.
That's fine.
Our job, I'm going to pontificate here, is to do what's best for our residents. This is not best for our residents. Right now, somebody that wants to go into that office, it takes about 30 steps from their car, they walk in, there's a counter, they do their business. Somebody wants to come in now, up the stairs, down the stairs, up the stairs, down the stairs. Bruce's present office is 440 square feet. The office you're talking about now is 160 square feet. Bruce's office has 5 windows. That office down there has 1. Those are the best offices we have, those building department offices. And the other issue, which we've had discussion before, and it's never happened, is safety. Someone comes into that office downstairs and they're upset. Is there a counter between the person and the woman working? Is there a way out of there? Right now, we have all that. I don't see how this is an improvement. I like the idea of everybody being together. I think that's the way it should be. But it's not what's best for our residents. I don't think it's best for our new employee. She's gonna be in the basement. Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Okay. In front of you, you've got a packet of sketches and schematics. I just want to take a second to explain that this is nothing more than somebody's hopes and dreams, okay, at this point, in terms of what Village Hall could look like in the future. It is essentially taking the same size building that Village Hall is, short of the porch area, and adding it onto the back of the existing building. Okay? We asked a contractor if they would create some drawings and some ideas and some thoughts. And so they were kind enough to do so. I will give you the gasp and tell you that they've, ballparked it somewhere between 600,000 and 700,000 to do that, which is a huge step. But it might be something to spur thought for the strategic planning going forward as part of consideration of what the campus will look like 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 25 years from now. So I just wanted you to see that. The next meeting of the Admin and Tech Committee will be July 20th, Monday at 7 a.m. Subject to other comments, that concludes the report.
Questions of the Administration Technology Committee?
I just have a quick question. I just want for clarification. So for that project for Village Hall, it was what we originally planned plus the lighting?
Yep.
And then it was Mark, and who seconded it? I didn't catch the second.
No, I made the motion and Mark seconded it.
Admin Tech is 9 a.m. or 8?
7.
7 for Admin and Tech and 8 for HR.
We know how to party.
You
can have it.
If you look at the 2 best offices we have are the building department offices. You have 1,500 square feet right outside the door. You could put 3 more offices over there, nice size offices. And everybody would be together in one nice hallway. Has that ever been considered?
This is the first I've heard of it, Mayor, so no. But let me point out that there are people here, more than one. That's not always the case over at the building department. And I understand your point about the counter, which is a good thing. And going forward,
There's gonna be a counter downstairs.
right, there's gonna be a counter downstairs, but the safety of our employees is a big concern. And the chief disappeared, but he would say, the police department's ready to respond.
Mark and Ruth, you're on building, right?
I'm sorry?
You're both on building?
Yes.
My understanding is that our new software is also gonna decrease the number of people who need to come in for plans and stuff.
Oh,
that we do
yes.
Digitally.
If it works as advertised, people can do virtually all of their permit applications online and pay for it online.
So foot traffic will decrease.
I should have included that in my report, so I apologize.
I'm glad Chris brought it up because theoretically, that means that the in-person traffic will be vastly reduced and efficiency improved. So people don't have to bring drawings in other than big ones for ARB, but it should work out well. It's worked so far.
What are the plans for the 2 offices you're emptying?
That's my question too. What are we gonna do with empty space?
Well, we need to have storage space for some record retention.
Yeah.
Okay, because that will be eliminated from the basement area. So there needs to be discussion of what records can be moved to quote unquote remote storage across the parking lot and how much of that is absolutely necessary. Okay, I've also heard ideas that street department would like more space, that they would like a locker/shower facility utilizing one of the restrooms over in that area for them. So, and I'm perfectly willing to consider those thoughts as we move forward. And I would take that to properties to deal with that. But those are the thoughts, that if we needed storage facility, that would be the logical place to store records.
Logical place in the offices or in the street department?
The street department, current commissioner's current office, presumably he could move over to where the building department is now. But Dave Hosevar pointed out in our last building meeting, that used to be a garage bay.
The garage bay of 1960.
The only one? I did not know that.
There's been a lot done, because when you look at that, was a garage, where your desk is was a garage. And then you look at the back of Roost, and that whole area was built in over the years, the bathrooms, so.
Point is, there's a bunch of things we can do there. And, I remember Daryl Johnson telling me when I first came to council way back when, that he wouldn't mind moving into the building department offices if they ever became available. I'm sure that's true because the street commissioner officer is tiny.
Well, not as tiny as mine, but,
72
the
square
goal would
feet.
be not to do anything right away, because if you remember, we moved to the building department and that didn't work, so we had to move back. So I don't think it would be advisable to immediately do something there. We should wait to make sure that this works for everybody before we start making changes over there.
Totally agree. Let's rehab the basement, make it livable.
Just a quick question about the basement. Was in the past, Danielle had mentioned that the records room in the back end of the basement get very damp and wet. Will that be addressed in this?
Used to be.
You had said that downstairs gets damp and wet because you were worried about your records getting wet.
They don't get damp and wet there, but that's the concern about wherever they would go, because we have forever records, all our minutes and legislation, and then the history of all the neighborhoods going in. There's some records we can never destroy, so we have to make sure they're somewhere that won't get damp, won't get dirty, because they're forever records.
That only people like me read.
But by law in the state, we have to keep
legal right to do that.
So I think we will try to address some of those issues at the next Admin and Tech Committee and come back to you with thoughts.
Questions of the Administrative Technology Committee? Hearing none, we're at ordinance resolution. Chris, you're up first. Ruth, you're second.
I'm wondering if, because of what we heard tonight from some of the residents, if council wants to continue to consider whether going forward with a third reading is appropriate at this point, or if we want to defer that to the July meeting and table the third reading.
I have mixed thoughts on that. I personally heard a lot of feedback from both sides of the argument, from emails, phone calls, and in person here, and then everyone's favorite world, social media. I feel like I have a good grasp of where I would vote, but I'm okay giving us another month to hear more resident feedback.
We do have a deadline, which is the first week in August. We have to communicate to the county if in fact we want to have the levy placed on the ballot for November. So that's our hard deadline. But we can defer till July 20th, a third reading and then a vote on doing that.
I'm for defer.
And then just so you know, that deadline with the Board of Elections is the beginning of August. So if there is a problem with the legislation, you would have to have a special meeting and you're gonna have to have 5 people there to
Get it done.
get it done.
Okay.
Just put it
So I table the reading of the third reading for tonight.
Solicitor, anything else we need to do besides table? We need a second?
On table, we have a motion, but I mean, maybe it would just be better to do a motion to table.
Okay.
Make a motion to table the third reading.
Second. I'm sorry.
That's all right, go ahead. So moved.
Second.
Second, discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ordinance is tabled. Ruth, you're up.
Introduce and consider for adoption an ordinance amending section 1024.09 of the Village of South Russell's codified ordinances to provide for the inspection and cleaning of septic systems within the village to be administered through the Geauga Public Health Operation and Maintenance Program and declaring an emergency. Move to waive readings.
Second.
Roll call.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Porter.
Aye.
Renzel.
Aye.
Bell.
Aye.
Berger.
Aye.
Move to adopt.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Porter.
Aye.
Renzel.
Aye.
Bell.
Aye.
Berger.
Aye.
Ordinance, ordinance passes. Chris, you're back.
Okay, just for those in the room, these next 4 ordinances are talked about the multiple funds, that this is what we're doing. We're just moving money between funds. So introduce and consider for adoption, an ordinance amending cemetery fund increasing expenses $5,000 even. General fund increasing other expenses $41,200 even. Street maintenance fund increasing expenses $270,000 even. Safety fund increasing other expenses $4,520 even. Park fund increasing expenses $8,000 even. Income tax fund increasing expenses $271,000 even. And Bell Road East Fund decreasing expenses $1 million even, declaring an emergency, waive further readings.
Second.
Roll call.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Porter.
Aye.
Renzel.
Aye.
Bell.
Aye.
Berger.
Aye, move to adopt.
Second.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Porter.
Aye.
Renzel.
Aye.
Bell.
Aye.
Berger.
Aye.
Ordinance passes.
Introduce and consider for adoption an ordinance transferring $270,000 even from the income tax fund to the street maintenance fund and $1,000 even to the park fund, declaring an emergency, waive further readings.
Second.
Roll call.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Porter.
Aye.
Renzel.
Aye.
Bell.
Aye.
Berger.
Aye, move to adopt.
Second.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Porter.
Aye.
Renzel.
Aye.
Bell.
Aye.
Berger.
Aye.
Ordinance passes. Ruth, this one's yours.
Introduce and consider for adoption an ordinance decertifying $1 million in grant revenue for Bell Road East and declaring an emergency. Move to waive readings.
Second.
Roll call.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Porter.
Aye.
Renzel.
Aye.
Bell.
Aye.
Berger.
Aye.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Porter,
Aye.
Renzel,
Aye.
Bell,
Aye.
Berger.
Aye.
Ordinance passes. Chris?
Introduce and consider for adoption an ordinance certifying $100,000 even in additional income tax revenue, declaring an emergency, waive further readings.
Second.
Roll call.
Kavanaugh,
Aye.
Porter,
Aye.
Renzel,
Aye.
Bell,
Aye.
Berger,
Aye. Move to adopt.
Second.
Kavanaugh,
Aye.
Porter,
Aye.
Renzel,
Aye.
Bell,
Aye.
Berger.
Aye.
Ordinance passes. Payment register.
Motion to ratify the May 29th, 2026 payment register in the amount of $19,033.49 and approve the June 15th, 2026 payment register in the amount of $229,327.94. So moved.
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes. New other, Danielle.
Porter,
We're gonna address the cleaning service proposals.
yeah.
I would suggest that the building committee take that up if Councilwoman Kavanaugh is inclined to
I'm
do
inclined.
that.
I'm not familiar with it, though. I can't do it right now. Is that what you mean?
What is the timing of the current
I talked to
vendor?
Tim, so he said he is available to, August, September. He wants to be done by September. So if you do it in July,
So
it should be good, and then the new company can start probably beginning of August.
So I need to show up and do
Yeah,
what you have. Okay.
I'll come to the next building committee meeting.
July 13th, so we would talk to Danielle between now and then
Yeah.
and find out what our options are and what we might recommend to.
Yeah, I emailed them all. Did you get the
I
email?
have.
And then the analysis.
And I read that Tim said he's available and he really wants to be done.
Is that $360 bid valid?
Two companies bid 306, one was 362, the other one was 367 a month. The other one was 1,900 a month, so. And, the other one that we really liked, they decided that they don't have the bandwidth right now to take on anybody else.
So what's the time frame? They clean on weekends?
Yeah, once a week, they clean, and they would do it on the weekends.
I don't think that's high, is it?
It's less than what we're paying.
So we'll address it at the building committee meeting on the
Yes,
13th of
yes,
July.
and I'll talk to Danielle and then, yes, thank you very
All
much.
right, new other.
Mark, you other,
I'm good, thank you.
Renzel,
None.
Bell,
None.
Berger,
None.
The only thing, we lost a 55-year resident of Paw Paw Lake, Dick Gross, and I'm feeling we lost wonderful neighbor. That's all.
Sorry, Rick.
that's everything.
All right, we need a motion to enter the executive session.
Motion to enter into executive session in compliance with Ohio Revised Code Section 121.22G1 for the employment of a public employee and inviting the mayor, fiscal officer, police chief, and solicitor. So moved.
Second.
Second.
Porter,
Aye.
Renzel,
Aye.
Bell,
Aye.
Berger,
Aye.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Going to executive session, you need a break or you want to go right in?